about that. Good morning, Dale.
Good morning. How are you?
I wanted to have you on here this morning to talk about the signal chat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Sure. I've already.
But before we go down that,
that's a hole.
That story, I fell into a crazy hole yesterday.
Yeah, you sent me some of it, and then I sent you something. You probably didn't have time to read what I sent you by reply, but I'll say it's interesting because it's coincidental to something I saw. It was just a short article. I just sent you a little thing from. I'll explain what it is. You don't even need to read it.
Okay, what did I send you? Did I send you was it the RFK thing I sent you?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, before we go there, I want to go somewhere totally different.
Oh, cool.
So I'm trying to understand this. I was over at Caleb's here. Awesome. I was over at this liberal friend of mine's house.
Hey, what's up, Caleb?
And I was on their YouTube, and I was watching all like the liberal news shows that they watch. And they were talking about these lawsuits that Trump is putting against these three big law firms.
Yes, I know what you're talking about now. Okay, there we go.
Very nice. That was advanced. That was advanced, Dale. You're holding the cup up to adjust the focus of the camera. Very nice. I was like, what's he doing? I was like, oh, this is some advanced shit.
Jay Vera showed me that. Jay Vera was like, it happens every time you take a sip of coffee. I'm like, oh, fuck. So now we call it coffee cup.
So I somehow I'm watching the stories, and something takes me to this thing called the Robert Mueller investigation, which I had remembered, but I'd kind of pushed away.
Yeah.
So I go over to NPR and I watch the National Public Radio or PBS Public Broadcasting, and it says full Mueller investigation on Donald Trump. I'm like, okay. So I watched the entire hour documentary last night, and basically Robert Mueller was investigating Trump for getting inside information during the campaign from the Russians in order to beat Hillary Clinton or something. And therefore if that was true, you could go to jail. You can't take information from the Russians, I guess, to beat Hillary.
Yeah. By the way, that's actually not true. But
I know it was crazy.
Over that. Let's just skip over. That's actually not true. But
so it's an hour-long investigation, and basically this guy Robert Mueller basically goes on a fishing expedition and arrests like 6 of Donald Trump's closest confidant. But the documentary ends, and they never say what happens to Donald Trump. They never say if he's guilty or what they found.
Funny.
So I'm like, okay, and I chose a liberal source so I could figure it out. So I'm like, I wonder what happened. I'm going to tie this back to these 3 huge legal firms that he's in a lawsuit with. I just think I figured something out. You know how like before you bomb a city, you take down all of its anti-aircraft.
Yes.
Boy, I think I found out someone's in big trouble right now.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're incapacitating all the defenses of the left before they fucking go in for the kill. Yeah. So I go over and I find this clip here of Jim Jordan interviewing Robert Mueller, the special counsel that investigated Trump for working with the Russians. And this is what I hear.
Director, the FBI interviewed Joseph Mifsud on February 10th, 2017.
Joseph Mifsud? I hadn't heard that name. Who the fuck is that?
In that interview, Mr. Mifsud lied. You point this out on page 193, volume 1. Mifsud denied. Mifsud also falsely stated. In addition, Mifsud omitted. 3 times he lied to the FBI, yet you didn't charge him with the crime.
Excuse me, did you say one? I'm sorry, did you say 193?
Volume 1, 193. He lied 3 times. You pointed out in the report. Why didn't you charge him with the crime?
I can't get into internal deliberations with regard who would or would not be.
Charge a lot of other people for making false statements. Let's remember this.
Here it is.
In 2016, the FBI did something they probably haven't done before. They spied on 2 American citizens associated with a presidential campaign, George Papadopoulos and Carter Page. With Carter Page, they went to the FISA court. They used the...
What is the FISA court?
So, Foreign Intelligence Services Act, I think, or it's something like that. But it's the FISA court is a secret court that there are a number of judges appointed to, and And when you hear about who appoints them and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, so which is in our case is Justice John Roberts, Chief Justice John Roberts. And among the people on the FISA court, among the judges on the FISA court, just to wrap this all back to modern events and give you some sense of how incestuous this all is.
Because they're about to release all the files on this except from the FISA court.
Yeah.
Let me just say this real quick before you go into the FISA court so I don't lose a thread. What ends up happening is Mueller finds out that the whole Russian collusion starts with this guy named Mifsud.
Yeah.
And yet to this day, no one knows where he is. They found his passport in like 2018, just sitting in an airport in Portugal or some shit. He's fucking gone. No one wants to know how it started. And yet Hillary Clinton spent $1 million making this fake Russian dossier. She had to pay $100,000 fine.
Yes.
And so my theory is, before we get to the FISA court, is that Trump's about to go after Hillary and all of those people for doing this, which is some really treasonous shit. I mean, this is really bad if this is true. But he's basically going to incapacitate all the law firms first that could possibly defend Hillary in D.C. Is that what's going on?
I don't know about incapacitate, but I mean, some of the people in those law firms, you got to remember that
he's going to make it so they can't work. They can't do any. They can't come into federal buildings.
Yeah. Well, he's already done some of that. And then he's walked some of that back. He kind of, one of the firms, the Paul Weiss firm, he originally pulled the clearances for anybody in the firm or associated with the firm and said, you can't come into government buildings, but that's been going on for like not Perkins Coie. And people don't realize Perkins Coie was, that's who Hillary Clinton laundered the Steele dossier, which is the fake Russian collusion thing that she ginned up.
Which she paid a fine for, which is she should have gone to jail for that.
Bro, she should have been dragged out into the National Mall and shot.
I know it's
along with a lot of other fuckers. While we're on the subject,
she only paid $100,000 fine. I mean, they found her guilty of that.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a criminal court. It's the FEC, whatever, the Federal Election Commission, or whatever. But yeah, it was. They had to do something. It was so blatant in the case of obvious. Bro, she got the questions she got 2 questions in the Democratic National Committee debates against Bernie in 2016. She had the questions ahead of time for the debate. They even told her, you can find these in the emails. They even told her where the question would come from in the auditorium. They're like, hey, it'll be over on the left-hand side. And in the email, and it's like, and the exact wording of the question. And then she got up in the debate, got the question, the fake question that she'd gotten ahead of time. This is from Donna Brazile, who at the time was working at CNN. So she gets the debate question, then gets up in front of the entire, one of the largest, the most watched of those debates with Bernie in the primaries in 2016. And then takes the question, and then, of course, has a perfectly memorized, canned, prepared answer, but she pretends as if it's coming off the cuff.
Yeah.
That's as election fucking tampering fraud as you could possibly come up with as an example. And what happened to her as a result of that? Nothing. What happened to Donna Brazile as a result of giving Hillary the debate questions ahead of time? What happened to her? Did she go to jail, Sebby? No, she got a raise. And then she came to work for the Clinton Foundation.
And so,
I mean, she left. CNN was like, oh my God, we can't believe we wash our hands of Donna Brazile. And Hillary was like, okay, you can come work for me at the Clinton Foundation. And she got like a $60,000 a year pay raise for that. And nobody ever took criminal action. And then she wound up working for Fox. Dude, it's all, listen to me. I want to try and steal this moment to say, please. I am now a full-blown anarchist. Full-blown. Government is the crimes we do together. That's all it is. Government are the crimes we commit together.
And then if you upset someone in the chain of power, they drag you out into the public court and execute you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's how that works.
Because the left is presenting this like he's being vindictive. They wish he was being vindictive. It's way worse than he's being vindictive.
Oh yeah. No, there are a lot of people who could be going to federal pound me in the ass prison And we'll find out how serious he is, how real this all is.
Like how far he's going to take it?
Yeah, if
Or
when.
if they can just kiss the ring and be. It sounds like one law firm kissed the ring and is absolved.
So yes. A number that has been going on, yes.
Mueller worked at one of these law firms.
Mm-hmm. They all do. Dude, if you knew how incestuous it was, here's one for you.
And supposedly they're all Democrats. These law firms are all Democrats, is what I'm finding.
You're going to love this one. I tell people this. This is how bad it is. Who was James Comey was head of the FBI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trump fired him.
Right.
He was the one who did the investigation of Hillary Clinton and said, well, no reasonable prosecutor. Looked at everything, the private server, 33,000 emails, classified information, CIA source information. I mean, Hillary Clinton, as Secretary of State, fundamentally sold the foreign policy of the United States. She's got crimes going back forever. I mean, going back forever. And so just set that all aside for the moment. So Comey, who was the one who launched the whole thing, he's a former Marine, actually. And it was like, oh, he's a Republican. That's how you can tell. The Democrats would say, oh, he's a Republican. That's how you can tell it's all going to be legit, which doesn't make any sense. But because they've been screaming, you can't trust Republicans and they're liars for years. But do you know that Comey's brother is a partner in Perkins Coie?
Oh, shit.
His brother does Hillary Clinton's. His brother does the taxes for Hillary Clinton's foundation.
Oh my goodness.
Perkins Coie, one of the partners in Perkins Coie is James Comey's brother. And here's another great one. You know what else James Comey did? You know how he got his career started as a young assistant U.S. attorney?
No.
He was on the Whitewater investigation that investigated Hillary Clinton and Bill, their involvement in the
perfect guy to put in charge of the FBI.
And then went out into the civil world and worked at some big giant company where he got paid fat bucks, something he was eminently unqualified for. And then came back to lead the FBI. But here's the thing. I was like, jokingly, I had once said, yeah, James Comey's the one guy in DC who can't find the Clintons commit a crime. It's impossible. Even though other people went to jail during Whitewater and all of that. And Comey was an assistant U.S. attorney on that. I'm like, yeah, the guy's constitutionally incapable of finding a crime against the Clintons. When you dig back in on any of these people, when you dig into their background, you'll just be like, no.
Yeah.
Every one of them, Sevi, it's so fucking incestuous in Washington, D.C. They're all sleeping together. They're all in business together. They're all in bed together. They all sit. You know what I mean? Like drop a fucking bomb on that place. Somebody, please, for the love of God, I wish the British had just raised it. And I mean raised, not RAISED, as in built up. I mean raised as in RAZED, which means to burn it to the fucking ground. The British were there and they did. The only thing they didn't burn to the ground, there you go.
Yeah.
There we go. There you go, kids. Today's SAT word is raised. As in, I wish the British had raised Washington, D.C. during the War of 1812. Actually, they did. The Brits burned D.C. to the ground. Most people don't pay attention to history, but the Brits kicked our ass. They burnt D.C. They burnt our capital city to the ground. The only thing that was left standing was the Marine barracks at 8th and I.
What year was that?
1812. The fire, when did they do it? Yeah, I think it was around 1812, 1810.
Uh-oh. Did he freeze?
No.
Did I freeze?
No.
Oh, you did.
I froze.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry. So this, by the way, this is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
This is the trail. So they try to persecute Trump for taking information from the Russians. The trail leads back to this guy. They send 6 of Donald Trump's buddies to jail on a fishing expedition unrelated to anything having to do with Russian collusion.
Yes.
They find out that this guy was the one who started the rumor. No one can fucking find him or interview him. They presume he's fucking dead now. And And then the Russian dossier, they found out that was made up, and Hillary Clinton paid a fine for that. It was more than that. She didn't pay the fine for making it up, which is crazy, for lying. She paid the fine because they used money, $1 million, to make the Russian dossier, but they didn't want in their tax filings. They didn't talk about it.
Right. Of course you don't.
Which is way worse than what he did with the HUD money from the wrong account.
Yep.
But it really does seem like that Kash Patel is serious, and Elon has already said that they're putting together an algorithm that's going to show who's fucking who and who's whose brother. They're doing a relationship algorithm.
Yeah.
This looks serious, Dale. This looks like, I think that you don't have to go full anarchist. I think that maybe there's some hope.
Oh no! Well, no. Listen, here's what I would like to see, so that I'm clear. I would love it if they took, if we just decided this once and for all, if we had a red against blue on the National Mall, and it was all 435 members of Congress, all 100 senators, so that's 535. The executive, call it the 9 members of the Supreme Court, would get you 544, and then the president and major cabinets and maybe agency heads. And if we gave them just old wheel guns, like the old West, wheel guns, and we gave them you get a belt and a holster, and you get like enough bullets, how they fit it in, like everybody gets the same loadout, and then you pick your side. You can be team red or team blue. And there's no, you can shoot people on your own team. It doesn't fucking matter. But
don't we need to get rid of you don't like this bureaucracy cleansing?
Oh no, I love that. I love it.
Okay. Don't we need some of those guys to do the bureaucracy cleansing?
Yeah, right. No, I'm saying, right. Well, look, if they were all dead and then we just stopped paying taxes, is how I would, then it would just fucking collapse. Everybody would go home. The only reason they're there is because they've got your money, Sevi.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I've realized, that we're back to Roman times. This lines up perfectly with the movie Chosen. The Republicans and the Democrats are the Pharisees, and they're basically, and the Romans are whoever's running the bureaucracy, and they're basically just extracting money from the people, the Jews, in order to just pay their welfare, their money, their lifestyle. The DC has just basically been shaking the American public down to pay for their jobs. What did you say one time, or Greg said? Someone said we've given them access to the coffers, and they're just the government is looting the coffers.
Yeah. Either of us or both, probably. Yeah. I mean, I know I've said it. I'm sure he probably has too. So anyway, back to serious point though. No, I'm glad to see it tearing down. But here's the thing: there is so much power. You just said it sounds like it's serious. Well, of course it's serious. Look, you just listed a detail of how they weaponized it in the broadest sense. What was done to Trump from 2016 through 2024, when you consider all the lawsuits, criminal, civil, is the Democrats unleashed, weaponized all the power of the U.S. government. So the Carter Page thing, the FISA court you started with, there's a lawyer named Kevin Kleinsmith who absolutely faked. He doctored an email and used that as the basis for the filing in front of the FISA court. So that was a fraudulent application to a single judge in a secret court, where you don't get, you and I could be.
What did the email say? That FBI admits altering email used for FISA application during Crossfire. Oh, and Crossfire Hurricane is the investigation into Trump getting information from the Russians.
So the predicate, Kevin Kleinsmith, there he is right there. See his name? Look at that. Everybody take your time. Read Kevin Kleinsmith right there.
Okay. Former FBI attorney Kevin Kleinsmith pleaded guilty today in U.S. District Court for false statements, offenses stemming from his altering of an email connecting submission of form. So he lied to the FISA court and faked a document saying Trump's getting information from the Russians in the election.
It was part of it broadly, but he explicitly altered an email that said, "Hey, Carter Page he's not thing. He works for us." Carter Page had been a source for the CIA previously, and so they're like, "Hey, he's one of our guys." He's like, and just excise that out, and some other things. So he pleaded guilty to one count of making a false statement, And you could get 5 years and 250,000. And look who sentenced them. Look who the judge is.
Who is the judge?
Who's that?
Judge? Oh shit! Is that the guy that's now in the news again?
Caleb, look up who that is. He's the judge who granted the injunction on the Tren de Aragua stuff and said, "You got to turn that plane around and bring those."
Oh my goodness!
And what do you think he gave him?
Oh my goodness!
What do you think he gave? Yeah, I told you. Wherever you look, it's 10 times worse than you could think. Hey,
this guy there's 2 cases now he's involved in. Is the guy?
He's been the judge for 4 of Trump's cases.
So let me ask you, what did he get? Did he get 5 years in jail and $250,000 fine? Because it's a pretty serious offense.
Look it up. Look up what Kevin Kleinsmith's punishment was. You'll love this. It's always as good as you can hope.
Oh, this is worse than I thought. This is bad. Kevin Kleinsmith, 12 months probation and 400 hours community service.
Wow.
For trying to take down a U.S. president.
And guess what? Hey, he's now back to practicing law, Sevi. No disbarment. No, he's right back in the DC bar, Sevi. It's all good to go. All good to go.
So this guy
Pick up trash
sat on the FISA court.
Yes.
And let someone go who tried to take Trump down, and now he's interfering with Trump trying to run the country. What are the 2 big ones he did? I know he tried to turn the planes around, and there's another one now. What's the other one?
He's actually got 4 of Trump's cases.
And so when the left is screaming, when he says, "Hey, this guy should be disbarred," and the left is screaming, "This is fucking wrong."
Sevi, totally legit, huh? Doesn't sound like a banana republic at all.
Why did why did the Supreme Court, the head of the Supreme Court, what's his name? Why did John Roberts push back on Trump then? John Roberts must know all this.
Yeah, of course he does.
Why did he push back on Trump? I mean, it's so obvious that this guy's corrupt.
Well, what reason could someone have for pushing back on a bunch of corrupt judges? Who would possibly defend a bunch of corrupt judges?
Another corrupt judge.
Oh my God, Sebi! Ding, 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 ding. I mean, come on. What did I tell you? I think it was on this show before or my own. And this is probably might or might not get me in trouble. I don't know. But I had said that whenever I'll just say this: whenever Chief Justice John Roberts has a case that involves where something comes to the Supreme Court, he was supposed to be a conservative. He was a conservative judge, Federal Society guy, supposedly wonderful conservative creds or whatever. And you look, and he might have come out of the Bush administration probably. And same thing for Kavanaugh, and same thing for one other, I think. But in any event, Roberts so far, like if you remember the Obamacare case,
yeah,
that was in the lead up to that. There was this big promise now that it looked like the conservatives with Chief Justice John Roberts, they had a 5-4 majority, and it looked like the conservatives, so-called conservatives, were going to shoot down Obamacare and say, hey, it's a tax and, blah, 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 which is what it is, forcing people to have to get health insurance. And that means that basically that's an assertion by Congress that they have the right to everybody born and unborn forever and ever, amen, to make you buy a product.
Right.
To compel everyone, like we've decided that everyone in America is just part of some vast health insurance marketplace.
Right.
And so now I'm responsible because some guy in Mississippi's fat, and so my healthcare premiums have to, I have to be forced into buying insurance, even if I want nothing to do with health insurance.
I like the way you describe it. It's forcing an insurance marketplace.
Yeah.
People. Yeah.
So this was coming, and that's what Congress had done with the ACA. That's the Democrats and Obama had jammed through with every Republican voting against it. And so this all comes up to the Supreme Court, whether this is legal. Can you force Americans? Can you make everybody in the thing? Does Congress have that power? And it all comes from this under the commerce.
You're basically born in debt.
Yes, you're born into debt servitude.
Yeah.
So the case is going to come up, and the conservatives and everyone in the press is talking about, oh my God, we got a majority. John Roberts we got a chance to overturn this Depression era case called Wickard versus Philbin, which basically said that a guy who was growing corn on his own property in his farm in Iowa, he could be regulated, even though he never sold corn outside of Iowa or wherever it was. I think it was Iowa, but that he could be the government could come in and take and control the price, what he could sell his corn for, just locally in the local area, because it was part of the larger interstate commerce market. And it was the most expansive reading of the Commerce Clause, and it stood for a long time. And anybody who loves liberty knows that Wickard versus Philbin is a horrible decision, a horrible Supreme Court decision, on a par with Dred Scott saying that people are property. It is on a par. It's almost the equivalent, really. It's a horrific case, and it needs to die. So under this, so here comes Obamacare, and it's coming up. There it is, Wickard versus Philbin. Yep. Oh, it was wheat, not corn. Yep. Ohio. I was wrong again.
That close. It's all the same.
It's
Okay.
called-
Yeah.
So in any event,
Another farmer.
so Obamacare is coming up, and everybody is saying, well, John Roberts is going to author the opinion. He's got scholarly articles that strikes down Wickard versus Philbin and the Commerce Clause and this expansive reading, and we're finally going to get this decision reversed. And instead, what he does is, when the decision comes out, it's this long lecture about how horrible the Commerce Clause is, and therefore you can't justify Obamacare under the Commerce Clause, but you can under the tax clause. And so, I mean, you just have to read it. But it was the greatest. You could have heard amongst the conservative legal community, it was like they just had their lunch money stolen. Everybody was like, oh, and that was Roberts who wrote that opinion.
Pat,
Like,
I think Dale just answered your question. Sebi, does Dale really believe that the evil left is the only side that weaponizes their power? No, he just spent 10 minutes telling us that no, it's the head of the Supreme Court who's conservative.
Right. What, do you not listen?
Yeah.
You
He
hear what I just said? I just said they should all have to fight each other with wheel guns on the fucking National Mall until one is left or none. I would go full Hunger Games, but with wheel guns, Caleb. Like old-fashioned old West. You know what I mean? Let's make it American.
Yes.
Make it, set up a giant OK Corral, like along the National Mall. And you know what? And like, just no long guns, though. I want them to have to shoot each other close, right in the face.
Yeah.
I want so I want to ask you this other question. I really during the signal thing, they said that they were talking about what is classified and what's not classified. And they said that there were 1 million people in the United States who have security clearance. What is classified and what is security clearance? Why do 1 million people in the United States have security clearance?
Hey, I had a TS SCI, and I have been on at the highest level of classification that you can possibly have. That there is, and I don't want to say what the word is. I could probably get in trouble just for saying it. I don't. But there are operations where they tell you, listen, there's only 5 of us in the whole agency who know about this. You're going to have to lie to your own bosses, and to do this. And if you get caught, we're going to say, I don't know who that fucking guy is. And so understand that you are out on a fucking limb. There's a word, a classification where the president and 3 dudes and you are the only ones who know that this operation is going to happen. We do things like that. There are things like that. The no bullshit Mission Impossible. If you are caught, we will deny your existence and laugh at you that you're eating fish heads and rice in a Chinese prison. So good luck. There is a classification for that. So having said all of that, it's rare, right? It's a rare thing. But the rest of the classification system from, say, TS on down at the secret level is, and there's definitions for this and all this, but we overclassify everything. And the vast majority of shit that is classified, and its real classification should be, we got to come up with another acronym for this, because it's embarrassing to us.
Oh,
Bit 2, or something, because it's embarrassing. Byte 2, embarrassing to us. Yeah, Byte 2. Because it's embarrassing to us. That is the vast majority, or more likely, BIC, because it's a crime, or BITAC.
right.
BIAC, because it's a crime. because we're committing felonies. That's the other classification. That's the other classification system. And a big chunk of what is classified. I mean, look, we just got the JFK files, right? And people are still sifting through it. But you know what? No one will be able to connect the dots. It's interesting. I see people asking this question. This is just a fun brain teaser, or just maybe help people understand this. The reason you withhold documents for 75 years is so that anybody who would be alive, so much of our lives, we don't realize this, we swim in this kind of cultural miasma, this kind of goop around us of, what jokes and memes and things are current, what's on the radio, what songs and all of that stuff. And it's all relevant to how you contextualize events that happened during that time. When you withhold a big chunk of that, when the government classifies a big chunk of information about, oh, there you go. Smell nice, right? So
thank you, Caleb.
Another SAT word for you.
Right on. And so what you do is when the government classifies something and says the public has no right to know about this, what it allows them to do is to decontextualize. They pull the guts out of a story, and then all you can see is it's like trying to complete a jigsaw puzzle with a bunch of the pieces pulled out of the middle. It's just not possible. You can't do it. And then 75 years later, after anybody who would have the framework within which to understand, those people are all dead now. That is to say, the U.S. citizens who would be able to contextualize what's in the JFK files now, they're all gone. Now they release it, and it's like they're giving a different generation the center now pieces. Yeah. And you're like, well, I don't even have a frame to fucking put this in. I can't make heads or tails of this.
Yeah.
They've disconnected as much as possible the framework and the guts of the story. They pulled a jigsaw puzzle.
There's no one there who's going to be like, oh, Bossberg was also on the FISA court.
Yes.
This is weird.
Right.
That set the guy free who made the shit up about Trump.
Yes. It's so hard to connect. And by the way, even AI has a hard time. I just read a great article about AI, how it can't make the connections that our minds make so easily.
What did happen to JFK? Did the CIA kill him? What is the story?
Yeah, that would be my guess. I mean, I don't have any insider info on that, but my guess would be, yeah. Yes.
And that's
what it looks like to me.
And was it just one dude?
It would be silly for me to think, did we send one dude to get bin Laden?
No.
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem, those guys seem to have been careful people. I mean, I doubt that it would have been, like what you do is I would think, like if I were doing it, then, if I were doing it, I would have made sure that there were separate entities or organizations or people or things who all wanted and were kept disconnected from each other, but all had independent reasons for trying to want him killed. And I'd provide opportunities where they could all do it at the same time on one particular event, just to make sure. We want to make sure this happens.
Right. More and more as I look into the Mueller thing, and I think about what happened to the guy in Butler who shot at Trump. And the fact that they, recently they've pulled George Floyd's body out of the freezer and they're going to do an autopsy on it to look for something else regarding whether he had a heart attack or not. Mm-hmm. And yet the guy who took a shot at the president was burned. So that means George Floyd's body's been still around years after the incident. And yet the guy who shot at Trump, they already burned his body and cremated it. And I'm like, what the, and you've seen the footage 2 days after they shot at him. There's a guy with a hose on the roof hosing off the roof. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. Sevi, it's just what you think it is. It's what nobody wants to admit to themselves. It's the great American, it's the last great self-deception we all live with, is that our government is not a bunch of fucking criminals. And by the way, all along, for most of you'll remember this, like growing up, we used to look at countries like South American countries and Central American countries, right? We would talk about them, call them banana republics. Well, that comes out of us fucking around down there. The Dole pineapple, I think, was who we went down there and destabilized the government for. And the sugar companies, Smedley Butler talked about this in the 30s. I've ranted and raved about war as a racket. long before Eisenhower said that the military-industrial complex was a threat. Smedley Butler was running around the country in the 30s, 1933, telling people at the top of his lungs. He's an amazing story. The first general post-Civil War to be ordered under arrest by a president of the United States. Franklin Delano Roosevelt held Smedley Butler, who was at the time a 3-star general, had him arrested, wanted him tried. You know what he did? He made the mistake of telling at his public dinner at like a state function. Smedley Butler was very high ranking, and he did a lot of very interesting career. But he made the mistake of telling a story over dinner that Mussolini had gotten his new motor car and had hit and run and killed a kid. And Butler had heard that story during his travels abroad. And so he told it at a dinner because people were talking about Mussolini. This is in the 30s when Franklin Delano Roosevelt was president. And Roosevelt was livid because he was a big fan of Mussolini's. And so he was livid.
And a big fan of Hitler's.
Yes, correct also. And he was livid that Smedley Butler had opened his mouth and said something, had dared to suggest that Mussolini was such a scoundrel that he had run over a kid with his new motor car. So check this out. The only thing was he couldn't touch Butler because Butler's father was an influential, very powerful congressman in charge of naval appropriations. That is to say, buying weapons. And so Butler had his old man's protection. When his old man died, Roosevelt had Smedley Butler arrested, wanted him court-martialed. And he was this is a guy who won 2, not 1, but 2 medals of honor. And Butler,
what was the reason for being court-martialed?
Over the comments publicly.
Oh.
And then Smedley Butler was supposed to be the next commandant of the Marine Corps. He was the senior ranking general with 2 medals of honor to his name. He's one of the most decorated Marine officers ever. And he got shit canned. Yep.
Okay. I want to switch for a second to the RFK story that's starting to pick up some crazy buzz here.
Yeah.
So did you see that this is also somehow connected to Anthony Weiner?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
And Hillary
I watched that Candace Owen thing, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Who'd have thunk it? Remember what I told you, Sevi? It's so incestuous in that fucking place. The more you scratch at anything in DC, any story you see in print, anything you see, I promise you, the surface story is absolutely nothing to do with the reality of what's going on. It's always just keep scratching at it.
I don't want to I don't want to put a lot of weight on this.
I don't either.
But a former heroin addict who's taking testosterone is a perfect candidate, is a fuck machine. Like, profile speaking. You used to be addicted to heroin and now you're on testosterone. You have a pretty high, I mean, you fit the stereotype for someone who needs to fuck a lot. Like a lot.
That's an expertise you have. I don't. But I will take your word. I know you know, and so I will absolutely take your word on it. But it's interesting because you know what, Sevi? Right before, and
then you mix that with the fact he's good looking and he's got a lot of power. You got a problem.
Yeah, but it's funny you say that, and look at like it doesn't run in the family. And so you say that, but it's funny. I would have never put that together. But when you sent me those clips, and I looked through them, or Caleb sent them. When I looked at them and I listened to the Candace Owens one, and you know what I thought to myself was, you know, what the fuck with these guys? Like, you would have to know that you're going to be a target for this kind of shit. You can't keep it in your pants. And then and then you say this, and I'm like, no, you can't keep it in your pants. Okay, I get it. Yeah, you actually can't.
So for people who don't know,
you can't keep it in your pants.
The story is really rough still, but there's a couple sources now that have come out that basically this chick that RFK was supposedly sexting with, that he was actually, it was more, that he was basically FaceTiming with her with his dick in his hands. And jerking off, which is just crazy. Don't do that, people. Listen, just let the NSA get the footage of you.
Right.
Don't type in when you go to Pornhub. Like, just remember any search you do, someone.
Right.
Stick to fat old
don't
ladies.
Type in underage.
Yes.
Just look up stuck porn and you're good.
Yeah, stuck porn. Yeah, exactly. And just accept the fact that someone's watching you every time.
Right.
But
Cover the camera. Just cover the camera. You know?
But it sounds like, it sounds like this chick, does
sounds
have.
to me like she's being. I mean, again, my brain doesn't work right. I worked for the agency and the Marine Corps, so I've been brainwashed by the government a lot, and they fucked my brain up. And so what I can tell you is, to me, it looks like somebody's running her at him. You know, I don't know who, but whatever.
Is it totally out of the question? This is going to be this. I can't believe I'm saying this, but is it totally out of the question that the Israelis set their people up to put that whole thing in motion, that they let that happen in order to clean out Gaza? October 7th. Is that totally out of the question? No, it's possible.
No. I'm sorry. You're saying, is it out of the question?
Yeah. Like, is it possible? No. So it's not like completely harebrained that they're like, okay, we're going to organize. I'm not talking about the individual soldiers, but we're going to organize behind someone pulling the strings is like, let's get these guys.
Let's put a name.
Okay. Netanyahu is going to let these guys come in, kill a bunch of our people, so we have an excuse to unleash holy war. That's not out of the question.
No, not at all.
That kind of for national security will let a bunch of women get raped and have their bellies cut open and babies put in microwaves and all that.
Sevi, the U.S. government gave black men syphilis in the 1930s, and then when we had penicillin and treatments that they knew worked and would absolutely cure them, they let them. Syphilis is horrific. You know what happens to you get syphilis, and they just watched them go through. And that, you know how long that program lasted, Sevi? That experiment went on?
How long?
60 years.
60?
Yeah. Something like that. Look it up. 1930s, at least 30 years, 30, 40 years. I mean, it went on, Sevi, like the last 1960 something. Look that up. Tuskegee, Caleb. How many years did that go on? It started in the 30s, I think.
But dude, Dale,
while we prosecuted
Dale,
Nazis,
there's footage of a man and woman being tied together. They chopped off the man's penis, they chopped off the woman's tits, and they put the baby and cooked the baby in the oven. This is different than letting someone die of syphilis.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, 1932, so 40 years. 40 years, there you go. 40 years untreated syphilis. So you see, you go, okay, this is worse. No, you're right, Sevi. There is, look, I'll tell you the worst ones is anything you see related to the African child soldiers. So taking kids at the age of 10, 11, 12, and then turning them into and making them.
They're doing that in Baltimore too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. And so, right, like, look, I don't need to be told, or nobody needs to explicate for me the horrors and the savagery that human beings will commit against other human beings. It's crazy. But I mean, hey, Sevi, we firebombed Dresden. We lit that. Go read. Nobody talks about that. We dropped a fucking nuke on not once but twice. How do you think that stacks up?
Yeah.
What do you think? Hey, we dropped napalm on fucking Vietnam like it was going out of style.
Yeah.
You know, guys used to joke. We used to joke. I mean, they turn you into this, but guys used to joke about white phosphorus. You know how white phosphorus works?
No.
The artillery guys would joke about white phosphorus. It's against the Geneva Convention to use white phosphorus, Willie Pete, on human beings because it burns. Phosphorus burns like it's like magnesium. It burns that white hot, and if you get it on you, it'll just burn right through you, and it's horrific. White phosphorus,
and they would just pour it on people.
You know, and guys used to joke. The artillery guys used to joke, be like, "Well, I can only use it against metal. So if you've got a Coke can in your hand, that looks metal to me." You know, I mean, guys would joke about shit like that, like firing white phosphorus on human beings. You know, like,
and that shit's everywhere. Everywhere. We have it all over the place.
Yeah.
Do you? I want to go back to this thing with where he's trying to with these three huge, massive law firms in DC are being basically told that they can't practice law.
Well, that's what they claimed, and so then they entered into an agreement where they agreed to pay some money and some other things, but he's
one of them has agreed to do $100 million in pro bono work, but the other two are fighting it. I really think this is to incapacitate any legal defense that the people that they're going to go after, or cause a huge problem,
or make them conflicted, or make it so that they can't, not because they're for the security clearance reason, but you make it such that they're conflicted from participating in the cases. And in part, it's to break up. And this gets back to Sevi, what you sent me to talk about the Cash Patel thing, which is they're going to use RICO, the Racketeering and Influence Corrupt Organization statute, but on the civil side, vice criminal. And so these are co-defendants. And by the way, this has been going on a long time. Smart criminals have been using lawyers as a shield. I mean, the mob did it for a long time. Kind of almost perfected it, really, where you've got lawyers. And so you can lean on a corrupt lawyer who's in on the gig, and you can lean on the attorney-client privilege. You carry that lawyer around there with you like he's a warding spell. You just have your lawyer with you at all times.
Let me play this.
I want to ask your thoughts on the news yesterday. We didn't touch on this at all. Donald Trump filed a lawsuit yesterday.
Yeah, and it's probably, hopefully he's not listening. It's his best one yet. No.
Oh, is that right?
I think so. It's the most conclusive, comprehensive lawsuit. It's basically if you took the Russiagate investigation, which Jevin and I ran, and looked at it from a criminal perspective, what Donald Trump has done is said, okay, how do I encompass everyone from Comey, Clinton, Clapper, Brennan, and all the whole DNC crew on down? How do I get them civilly in federal court? And the way you do it is you utilize this thing called RICO, Racketeering, Enforcement, and Corrupt Organizations. We used to prosecute gangs under RICO statutes, criminally.
Cartels. You're right.
But what most people don't realize is RICO also has a civil function. So what he did was he took the RICO statute, which is permissible under by law, and said these guys orchestrated the largest criminal enterprise in U.S. history, but I'm suing them on my civil side of the house for, I don't know, $75 million. The whole point, right, is to get to discovery.
Yes. Well, then also civil can lead.
So at the same time that you take the three big law firms and get them, whether Trump wins or not, and gets them fucking shut down or gets them incapacitated in who they can and can't represent, is that tied to this? You sue them and then they're scrambling to find lawyers?
Of course. And the other part is this, Sevi, right? Remember this. Let's go back to what you talked about with FISA, because it's important to all of this.
Yeah.
What is getting a FISA warrant? What does it do? What does that warrant get you? Practically speaking, why? Okay, so I told you it's this secret court where there's a single judge and you don't get to be present, and the government gets to come in with this FISA warrant. Well, what do they get a warrant for? They're getting a warrant to use the NSA to fucking read your text messages, to track you while you're scratching your ass. They're turning the eye of Sauron on you. The thing is this, the way it works is they've got this capability. They've got the eye of Sauron. If they turn all of it on.
Is that some like all-seeing eye?
No, I'm using it as a metaphor rather than get into all the specifics of the tech. But the point is that if the government decides to turn its eye on you, they're going to look up your asshole and see if you got shit stains in your drawers. Okay.
Right.
And so
which they did to Melania. They went through her underwear drawer.
Yes. It would behoove you to have clean undies, And so what I'm saying is this whole thing with the FISA court with Klein Smith and all that, they turned it on Trump. Once they had the capability to do this, and just at will, hey, we can, hi, how you doing, NSA? Hello, kiss my ass, like that. Once they could do that, down to that granularity, this is a walking tracking device, GPS locator, Yeah. And so once they had that capability, it was going to be abused. And so the DNC took all of that and wanted to make sure that they could turn it onto Trump. And that's the most amazing thing of all. And this is the part that's people, for all that you say, like, oh, Trump's dirty and this stuff shows up in the press. If they had anything, buddy, believe you me. I mean, they turned all of that on him. And it turns out the guy's a teetotaler. He doesn't drink. His brother died of alcohol. So he doesn't.
That's what's crazy. After the Mueller fishing expedition, they still didn't find anything on him. I mean, all his friends went down.
they went to, yeah, and they tried to get an attorney to turn on him. They got his attorney to even turn on him. That's what the New York case was about, was they got his own attorney. They tried to get an attorney to turn against him. And all he could come up with was, hey, I paid off a chick that claimed she had an affair with him. I paid her off. And that means that this line that says legal fees isn't really legal fees. And, it's all based on Michael Cohen, a complete piece of shit.
Yeah. And it kind of like, and the funny part is, you would think that if he was getting in trouble, he would have gotten in trouble from paying from his campaign donations, but it's actually the reverse. He got in trouble because he paid for it with his own money.
I know. Or yeah, right. It's insane.
That's the case. He paid for it with his own money, and so then they accused him of paying it with his own money to hide the dirt that would come out in the campaign. I mean,
yeah. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's that old Far Side comic. Did you ever see that Far Side comic? It's one of my. There's a guy down and there's like flames all around, and it says there's two doors, and it says damned if you do, and then the other door, damned if you don't. And the devil's poking the guy in the ass with a stick, and he's going, hurry up, pick one. I always thought that was, yeah. So in any event, so all of this is they wanted, so just think about this, Heavy. A FISA warrant. Yeah, that's the one. There it is. There you go. It's one or the other. I love that. So they used all of this. They used all of this against Trump. And then check this out. He's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. It only made him stronger. They tried to strike him down, and he got elected again. And I'll tell you why he did. And I realized this later. We're like, oh my God, it's courageous. He ran. He actually won 3 elections. He only gets credit for 2. But it's probably better. So now, Sevi, he wins. They've been trying to kill this guy, and ought to tell you everything you need to know. And now, guess what? Now he has the ring of power. Now he
knows how to use it better than
he knows, and he knows exactly. You think he doesn't? He's not fully aware of what was going on and what they were doing to him. Now he's like, okay. And what do we know about Trump, if nothing else?
He wants to win.
He's petty and vindictive. He never forgets a slight. He's like a mob boss. He never forgets a slight. And you know what? Whatever else you can say, there'll be people reading this. Oh, he's a Trumpster and all this, and you miss the point entirely. And let me just say this. For me, given I've already declared what I think about government, he's the perfect tool fit for purpose.
For what's going on, he's landed perfectly in time.
He's the perfect guy. I wouldn't have voted for George Washington over Trump in the 2024 election.
Right. I
want Trump.
To go back to the Jesus analogy, when Jesus told the Jews, hey, you don't got to follow the rules of the Torah anymore, that scared the shit out of the Romans, right? Because they were using the Pharisees to control the population. And now he's basically saying he's fucking tearing apart the bureaucracy that pays all the bills that keeps all these people, these 97% of the Democrats that live in DC in these swanky homes.
Yeah. Sevi, he went into the church and he threw out the money changers.
Oh man, this is good shit. This is good shit. And Elon, I don't mean this in a derogatory way at all, but he's the useful idiot. Right? Is Elon just completely naive? Like he's you don't think he's just like, fuck you, you chopped the dick off my son, I'm gonna make you pay. I don't care. Like if I know what's really going on or not.
Trump this time doesn't care about political ideology. He's putting together a gang. And
he doesn't even seem like a Republican to me.
He's not.
Or a Democrat. And I'm hoping that that's right.
Right. He is. And so look at every person, you look at every single person the big cabinet picks, right? Were people who got fucked by the agency they got put in charge of.
Yeah.
So for me,
Gino and Kash Patel running the FBI.
Right. Right. And Tulsi Gabbard was put on a watch list because she publicly smashed Kamala's campaign. And so they gave her secondary treatment every time she flew. They had 8 agents following her across they handed off to another team every time she fly, go through her underwear, open her bag, search her shit. That was all turned on her. And now she's the director of national intelligence. I'm like, yes. So, and I don't like Tulsi at all, but whatever. I mean, her politics for me are black, but now she's perfect tool fit for purpose. Yeah. Perfect tool fit for purpose. Same thing with Pat Patel. He's hired people who were like, look, he put Linda McMahon in front of in charge of the Department of Education so she could help shut it down.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay Bhattacharya, a guy you and I have both met.
Yeah.
Jay Bhattacharya, after he got
He was
frozen
on the show. He was on the show a couple months ago.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
What about let's go back to the RFK thing. So,
Yeah.
is this going to be tied to Israel and Epstein and Diddy? Is it going to go that big?
I don't know.
That's what they're alluding to. That
Yeah,
this is
that's
gonna,
not tied to, not every honeypot operation. I mean, it's like Americans are finally getting wise to a thing that other countries, much older countries, has been common knowledge in the spy world. The honeypot is as old as espionage, is as old as, going back in Chinese empires and Japanese, and as far as you can go back. I mean, that's been going on. So, but the U.S. is a new country, and we were founded by Puritans in part, and religious people, deeply religious people, for whom prostitution and that kind of stuff, and spying and opening other people's mail would have been anathema. It would have been even weird to think about. And so the U.S. is, for many, many years, and the British said this about us in World War II, when we first got really deeply involved in the espionage game, that the Brits' view of us was that we were so naive. We were so unsophisticated and so naive about how the world works. And so I think a big part of what's going on right now is it's all just spilling out. The realities of what international politics looks like and what they call the great game. And we were, as a people, we were sheltered from the realization that we're part of an empire, and as such, I said this for a while, and I tweeted at it and I wrote about it, that the best analogy for U.S. politics is Game of Thrones. And if you don't think that's what's going on behind the scenes, you're fucking crazy. But human nature hasn't changed. I mean, that's why Shakespeare is timeless. We're doing West Side Story in the 1900s, 300 years after, 350, 60, 70 years since Edward de Vere wrote Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
Or dude, I'm telling you, this shit looks biblical to me. This shit looks like
that element.
It's like, wow, whoever wrote the Bible, what this story is still just going on like a fucking loop.
Well, again, it's the same reason Shakespeare's timeless. We're not going to go grow another a tale. We're not going to continue it to evolve. For whatever reason, we are where we are and what it looks like, and we've got these archetypal, urges and things, and Carl Jung would have a field day with the modern, the modern political scene, and by the way, it's
Go ahead, finish, and I'll bring this up. I don't mean to distract you.
No, it's all right. But it's interesting because, Sevi, it's not just here. It's playing out the world over, the West over, and it really does look like this struggle. I mean, the Western world, look at what's going on in Great Britain. How the fuck is that going to play out? Look at what's going on in Canada. How the fuck is that going to play out?
Yeah, so let me tell you what's going on in Britain. This is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
They've just today, a law got passed for a 2-tier justice system.
Yeah.
Have you seen this fucking shit?
Yeah. Britain's fallen, baby.
Under the rules which have prompted a 2-tier justice road, judges will be expected to consider the lives of offenders from ethnicity, minority, and other backgrounds before deciding on punishment. So everyone gets it's called a what the fuck is that thing called?
Probably a pre-sentencing report.
Yes. Thank you. Everyone except white males gets a pre-sentencing report.
Yeah.
So they'll tell you before you sentence the guy, oh, he was molested when he was 6. Like that should somehow affect the judge's ruling that you fucking raped 5 women.
Right. Well, that's
or if you're a black guy, or if you're a fucking immigrant, you get a different.
What they've done is they've always had pre-sentencing reports, and I was a criminal defense attorney, and you do something called extenuation and mitigation. You want to try and get the judge to minimize, he's got maybe a range of sentences he can give him, or, works differently in the military system completely. The jury actually decides sentence too, which I like. And so in any event, you've got all this going on, but now what they've done is just like in the job market, this is basically affirmative action for jail sentencing. They've now brought over your ethnic, poor darky, you don't have the benefits. So we have to give you a break on the crimes that you commit, as opposed to you white privileged people. You're going down hard. You know
Yes.
better.
The updated guidance says judges should normally request a pre-sentence report on offenders from ethnic, culture, or faith minority and other groups such as young adults, under 25, women, and pregnant women. So it's basically everyone except white dudes.
Yeah.
You get to hear a sob story about that should somehow affect their sentencing.
Yeah.
This is like,
it's insanity.
I sent this to some of my liberal friends. I'm like, what do you think about this?
Hey, listen, look at, there's some great stuff to be read about what happened in Rhodesia. Go look at what happened in Rhodesia.
Where is that? Is that Africa?
Zimbabwe.
Is that where they took all the land from all the white farmers?
Yep. Yep. And the place collapsed.
Yeah. They ran out of food, right? They ran out of food. They went into.
You can find pictures of Rhodesia, and they were an incredibly proud British people. And you'd be like, oh, they were colonials. And the interesting thing, everything that we were taught about we're finding out that all of our notions, everything that was told to us as kids about our predecessors and how awful Whitey was in many ways conditioning to get people to get to a place like where Britain is right now. Nobody would voluntarily accept that, but yet here they are. They've got their own people passing laws to disproportionately punish white males in Great Britain now. Can you imagine? What do you think, King Alfred would fucking think of that? Or what, United England, you know what I mean? Like, it's insanity. But how do you get a people to lay down like that? How do you get a people to roll over and take that? And it's conditioning. You have to tell them that everything about every country has a right to ethnic, call it Unitarianism, whether it's the Jews or the Palestinians, everybody has a right to their own ethnic heritage and land, and they should have a nation except white people. Whenever somebody just said this recently, starting to recognize it, like, it's really weird. In every other country, like, hey, China for Chinese, yes, totally. If you said like, hey, Puerto Rico should be run by the Puerto Ricans, you'd be like, yes. Africa for Africans, yes. And you go like, America for white people, they're like, you fucking racist.
Did you know? I saw something else that 75% of the judges in DC aren't U.S. Weren't born in the United States.
Oh, I don't know, but it could be, sure. I mean, that seems crazy to me. But on the other hand, if it turned out that was true, I wouldn't be like, no, impossible. I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, there you go. That would explain a lot.
Man, this is fucking nuts. I don't remember the story also, but one of these countries, I don't know if it was South Africa or Zimbabwe, but one of them slaughtered 1/3 of DC judges not born in U.S. have no experience before appointment. They were never, they had no judging experience.
Well, that would explain my experience in the federal courts. It's not always been as I thought it would go, but we could leave that alone.
As one of them, have you heard Trump talking about maybe becoming the mayor of DC, taking DC and becoming the first simultaneous president and mayor?
No, what happens is, what he's talking about doing is abolishing home rule. Or, yes. So by law, DC, and used to be for many, many years, is supposed to be controlled by Congress. Congress is supposed to be running that, but they were like, meh, and gave that away. And so they have this local structure. Congress kind of offloaded it. But yeah, what's going on is it's called home rule. And Trump could abolish home rule, and then it would revert to like the feds would control DC. And that would mean Trump as the president would fundamentally be. He told Marion Bowser that, I think Muriel, what's her name? The mayor of DC. Hey man, you got to clean up like all the homeless. Have you been to DC lately? I've had to go there.
So bad.
And the other thing is, post-COVID, it feels like every major city. I've talked to Greg about this, but in traveling, Muriel Bowser, there we go. And he told her, like, you got to clean up, you got to get the homeless people. Like, he's like, you know, I have to bring dignitaries. You want the U.S. to be this amazing place, and like go to somewhere else. Like, go to China. You go to Beijing. You think they got homeless people sleeping on the Capitol? You know, you think
She was also involved in the January 6th cover up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bowser.
Yes. Hey, the other reason
I would love to see them clean out DC, man. I would love to see that. I would love for it to be like you could walk around with a wheelbarrow full of cash and no one would steal it. I would love for them to basically like, hey, have some sort of law that's unique to DC that they don't have anywhere else in the country. Like if you rob someone, they chop your hands off. I would love to see. I would love to see our nation's capital. You know what I mean? I'd love to see our nation's capital be the safest place on the planet.
You mean like Dubai?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, like Dubai. Like nothing can happen to you in Dubai. I mean, if you throw your fucking gum wrapper on the ground, you're toast.
Yeah. You don't fuck around in Dubai.
Yeah,
Singapore is like that too.
I think our nation's capital should be like that.
It's a case to be made for it. I mean, if you believe in national greatness and all of that, you know, yeah, sure, of course, right? Your national capital shouldn't look like a fucking slum.
You know what else I'd like to see, Dale? This is totally off subject, but you know how you can get a ticket if you follow too close to a fire truck? It's like it says like or a school bus. You got to stay back 200 feet. I'd like it to be so that if you come within 10 feet of a cop, 20 feet, 30 feet of a cop, while he's making an arrest, you'd be tased.
Yeah, the problem.
I don't like this shit, dude. Someone holding a phone.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree.
Get the fuck back, man. You can film that shit from far away. Get the fuck back.
I agree with that. I was going to say, however, I don't want it to impede on the like. I got friends who are cops. A lot of them. My best friend was still a cop, local cop, a retired Connecticut state trooper of 20 plus years. You know, my best friend in the world. And I've done ride-alongs and all that. I wouldn't want that rule to be used to like prohibit me if I were driving by and if I saw a cop on the side of the road fighting with somebody, I would lock the fucking brakes up to go help, you know?
Yeah, right.
Not knowing what was going on and just so that nobody gets further hurt. Like maybe the cops wrongfully doing the things. I don't care. You know, like for now,
but you know what? But you see it. But
you know.
But every day on the internet, you see it. You see a cop trying to arrest someone, and there's 20 fucking people around harassing the cop, way too close to him. It's like what? Like I see that as a threat.
Yeah. You should not be. Absolutely, I would be. I mean, if you're engaged with somebody and you've got a gun, you know, it's a different. People don't appreciate it. You know, every encounter, if you're carrying, is instantly transformed into a lethal encounter, even if you didn't want it to be. You know, and even if the other person didn't want it to be, you're carrying a deadly weapon. And so now it's like, hey, I can't be wrestling around with you on the fucking ground and then other people around. And it's all, it goes from zero to lethal in a heartbeat. And so that's why I agree with you 100%, but you know.
Elon Musk has full control of the United States government right now. And he wasn't born here. Sevi loves him. 5 judges in DC weren't born here. Bless. Listen, you just saw the article.
33%, Pat. Come on. 33%. And by the way, you're right. Elon wasn't born here. I'll tell you, there's a great article. You mentioned Elon and you asked me what I thought about him. And here's what I think about Elon. I think a guy, it wasn't an article. I take it back. It was a tweet by a writer named Devin Erickson. And he tweeted about Elon. And it was great. And he said, Elon doesn't give a shit about politics. You know, he loves the US, but Elon cares about one thing. And that's, he's got a dream and he wants to put rockets and human beings on Mars. And so, and he's gotten filthy rich. And by the way, you should hear me on this. I can't stand Teslas. I don't like them. Greg had one couple, he's had several.
Did you see that his Roadster's coming? His fucking fastest car in the world is coming. Yeah.
It's a sexy looking car.
Yeah.
But and I'll probably get a ride and love it and cackle my ass off. But I don't like electric cars. I'm an old school gearhead gas engine kind of guy, you know. So my own personal preferences are contra Elon's. I don't give a fuck about electric cars. But I recognize what he's done with batteries.
Me too. I don't want to have to plug my car in either. I want to go to the gas station and fill it up wherever I want. Me too.
Yeah. The technology, the gas engine car, that engine, the internal combustion engine, is a superior technology to the battery in a car. Sorry. You notice he's not putting his rockets into space with fucking batteries, but we'll leave that alone. So the rocket ship thing. Elon he has a vision. He wants to put people on Mars, and he wants to build shit out in space, and he's going to wind up being a trillionaire. And so politics to him is like, man, he doesn't care. But he also recognizes that he's, California was like going after him. I mean, look at how they've been targeting him. You got people keying his cars and blowing his shit up.
Dude, they stopped him from sending satellites up at Vandenberg because Gavin Newsom didn't like him.
Right.
They
because he
kicked
tweeted some
out-
shit that they didn't like.
Kicked out the nation's largest fucking car manufacturer out of California, basically.
Yes. And so what Elon realizes, Elon's not, he is to politics what, the same point I made about Tulsi Gabbard becoming DNI. Elon doesn't give a shit probably, but he's watching what's happening in South Africa. He's not stupid by any stretch. And he sees world trends like anybody else. And he's like, hey man, the savages are taking over, and the Democrats are fundamentally, they do the same thing they do everywhere. They're collectivists, and it's largely thieves and useful idiots who conspire to leech and suck and parasite their way to power, and they'll keep stealing until they fucking break something. They're fatal parasites, the worst kind. And Elon just wants to send rockets to space, but to do that, you need a platform. And I'm by platform, I mean, the broadest sense, you need a country where you can launch rockets and the government isn't going to come steal your shit, and science, you know what I mean? You need a lot of things like technology. There's a great technology is a stack. Everything, people don't realize this phone is a miracle, but it exists because of a couple hundred years of technology.
10,000 inventions and patents went into before that thing could come together. Even the cigarette lighter is a fucking miracle, right? The plastic that holds the fluid, that holds that gear wheel, let me ask you this. Let me switch because we only have 20 minutes left. Let me switch to Gavin Newsom here. The Democratic Party, we got Gavin Newsom walking back Latinx, saying that he never said the word, even though like the montages of him saying it, and that it's completely ridiculous, and that he doesn't think women should be in boys' sports, but we need to be sensitive about it, how we handle it. And you have him doing that stuff. And then on the other side of the Democratic Party, you have Tim Walz still saying "fuck old white men." Yeah, what's going to happen to their? And meanwhile, the Republicans are just like fucking burn it down.
Right. And by the way, you're also forgetting the other thing they've been floating out there, the Democrats, I don't know if you've seen, is these astroturfed Bernie and AOC rallies.
Yeah. And Walz is going to those with them.
Yeah.
So you have AOC, Bernie, and Walz doubling down on fuck white people. And you have Gavin Newsom being we're not going to turn the Mexicans into faggots. Sorry.
Yeah.
What happens to that party? Who wins that between them? Is that infighting we're seeing? They've lost their values, their way?
Of course they've lost their way. And a big part of that is they got, there you go, fight oligarchy. Who the hell, at least Tip O'Neill had style, In any event, that party is going to go the way of the Whigs. You can look up the Whigs, but the Whig party here in the United States, that party will be probably gone in, things happen fast, but I don't know. It won't be the same party. I don't know if they'll even try and use the Democratic brand. It's down to 26% approval, I think. They're about as popular as, they're almost as popular as Dr. Mengele at this point, So there'll come a point where it'll just be, their brand is so toxic that they have to jettison it, and they'll have to get new,
These were the guys who were these were the guys who were these were the slave owners, right? The Whig Party?
I think so, yeah.
They were the ones, I think they owned all the slaves. They were basically the Democrats. So this pivoted into Democrats, the Whigs turned into Democrats?
No, the Democratic Party existed right alongside the Whigs, but the Democrats have kind of morphed into the Whigs. Like, look at who they represent.
Oh, it said merger with National Republican Party.
Yeah. The names are all crazy in that time frame, but it won't matter what they stood for. My point is only that they will.
It won't matter what they stood for?
Yeah, that's not really the point. The point is that 'cause I'm saying don't worry about what they say their positions were, because I mean Democrats say that they're the party of X, Y. You know what I mean? You can't believe their press.
Right. They say they're here to save blacks and all their,
Right,
but
right.
really that just means they think blacks are too stupid to take care of
Right.
themselves. Yeah.
Right. So you can't take what's their own press clippings about who they are, because that's all bullshit. But my point is simply that they will be like the Whig Party. They will just disappear. That won't be a national party anymore. And I don't know if that'll be good or bad. I mean, I'm not sure the Republican Party exists anymore, really. You know what I mean? Like it has the name, but quite frankly, what we have is we have the Trump Party.
Yeah.
We have MAGA. And then you have what people call the EGOP or the rhinos or whatever, and it's a odd collection of warmongers, kind of old school. They pretend that they're about values, but that's all bullshit. There's that grifting part of the Republican Party that is like the Washington Generals. They're just there to lose. And then there's the progressives on the, what the Democrats have become, which is hijacked by the far left of that.
And the progressives are the fascists. I mean, based on Wikipedia's definition.
They're
No?
whatever. Yeah. I mean, I don't call them fascists. I just call them this. Call them authoritarians. Call them commies. I mean, those are all just kind of labels we slap on this stuff. But
fascist is a far-right authoritarian party, which we know isn't true. It's a political ideology movement characterized by a dictatorial leader. You have to, if you're censoring X and you're making me take shots, you're a dictator, and you're telling me I can't go in restaurants. A forcible suppression of opposition. They did that through the media, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. These are all the wiki definitions of fascism. Individual interests or perceived good of the nation or race, or strong regimentation of, let me see.
Nope. See, they don't. Again, you're going to use that definition and it's going to screw it all up. None of don't use Wikipedia. They're shit. But the point isn't the label. The point is what do they stand for? They're a statist party. They believe
they want to take away the rights of individuals and give them to groups.
Right.
They
Absolutely.
want to take away the rights from the Jews and give them to the Germans. They want to take away the rights of the white people and give them to blacks. They want to take the rights away from white people and give them to gay white people. That's their whole thing. They just take.
Yeah, for sure. They're socialists they've got a lot of policies that are more, communal, and everything's sort of this socialist. It's, kind of Orwellian inversion of everything. So you're right, but they're not, you won't hear them say anything like,
listen what Wiki's
said.
definition of fascism. Fascism rejects the view that violence is inherently negative.
Well, again, this is what you get with them. They'll say things like, what they do is this weird thing like, your speech is violence. Like if you dead name somebody, your speech is violence, but my violence is speech. If they burn down buildings, that's just peaceful protest.
Right.
And so what is that from a political ideology standpoint? Like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Whether he says he's for the dialectical materialism, like that's all bullshit. That's all these people want power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think people get hung up in labels and then get confused when things don't match. The labels don't match
They're fighting to keep their job. Really, even more than power. And maybe it's the same thing. They're fighting to keep their government paycheck.
Yeah,
right. All those people, every single one comes down to the fact that they're living off the dole. Yeah. All of them.
Yes, but and by the way, that's the same exact thing. Guys, I don't criticize Republicans. That's the same exact thing is true of the Mitch McConnells and all of that is just a grift. It's like, it's like, I don't even know. I wouldn't even call it a political. It's just, I hate putting politics on it because politics becomes a justification for what would otherwise be antisocial behavior that you would say that guy belongs in fucking prison. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, to the extent that you're laundering money through NGOs back into your campaign, and you think you're just a fucking thief. You're a grifter and a sociopath because you absolutely, you won't do it yourself. You don't have the wherewithal to go out and use a billy club on someone's head, but you love the idea of having government, that the Department of Education has a SWAT team, and you'd love.
Do they really? Do they?
Oh, I'm sure they do. Look up how many SWAT teams in the federal government. I bet they do.
I want to switch to this too. Before I want to talk about Greenland a little bit. So you got this country here. I don't know if this is to scale, but it's Google. You got we have Alaska, and then over here is Russia. Then you got this country here above us, Canada, Mexico below us, and then you got this
huge, massive,
huge piece of land here called Greenland with 58,000 people living on it.
Yep, it's basically a giant national park for the most part. Most of it is like considered they're not allowed to develop it by I think it's Denmark or Norway.
Oh yeah, and then this country, I guess somehow Greenland's independent, but this country over here, Denmark, somehow is the caretaker of it.
Yes.
What's going to happen here? I saw JD Vance went there the other day, and then I hear Trump talking. It sounds like we're
going to do some kind of deal with Greenland to. It's important if you scroll out more.
It won't let me. It's weird. The map won't let
all right,
me.
go the other direction then. Go out and then go the other, pull it down more.
Yeah.
No, other way.
Okay, yeah. It won't let me go above that either.
Oh, okay. Well, if you go to the right, and what you'll get to is here's the top of Russia.
This is all Russia.
Yep. And then and then you get to you can't see it. It won't let us see China, but China mucks around. It's got stuff up in there too. But Russia mostly. But the big problem is this has become a very contested area. And the other problem is that Canada is penetrated and controlled by Chinese interests. They've got a huge problem in China.
I mean, they basically, the WEF, World Economic Forum, basically has said that they control Trudeau and 6 of his cabinet members.
Yeah, Mark Carney, the guy who just got installed, is I mean, he's just a WEF puppet. Everywhere he's gone, he's made shit worse. He's just a complete abject failure. Everywhere he goes, there's a wake of destruction behind him. So great, put him in charge of Canada.
So do you think that we end up actually getting Greenland as a state?
So not as a state. It won't be a state, but it'll be something. We'll have some relationship, and we'll wind up with bases there, and we'll wind up with corporations developing the resources, and that's what will wind up happening in Greenland.
And do you think that the people, it ends up being a good deal for the people of Greenland? Like if you live there and you run a hotel there, are you like fucking hey, let's do this?
Yeah, or even if you don't own a hotel, if you're a local, Alaska, Alaskans get. Do we talk about this before? Alaskans get a check, man.
Yeah.
For the just being an Alaska resident because of their oil reserves and all that, they get a dividend, because of the thing. Like I would be super psyched to live in a state where they were like, hey, we've got X resource, we're developing it. I mean, that to me would be like how it works. Like how much more would you love Alaska if you live there? And like every month they had or every year they're like, here you go, here's your dividend on our development of oil that we've got a lease with this company and blah, blah, and you guys get 10 grand.
That's good.
I'd be like, woohoo! I'd be the most proud partisan Alaskan on the planet. I'd defend that place with my life. And instead,
Alaska residents who meet the eligibility requirements receive an annual dividend of $1,700 a year.
It should be more, I think, but whatever. I mean, to make me feel
called energy relief.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you receive a standard payment of $1,400 and then $300 for energy relief. Eligibility: you must have an Alaska resident for an entire calendar year preceding the date.
Should be more, but whatever.
I think you can go up there. I think you can go up there and still get land from the government too to develop. I think those things are still around.
You've been to Alaska, right? You've been there.
I have not been to Alaska.
It's unbelievable, beautiful, amazing. The last frontier.
I would like to go there. I'd like to drive there.
That'd be fun. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do a trip.
Yeah.
It's
cool. It'd be cool to ride a motorcycle up there.
Oof.
Like, find the right time of year.
You go in the summer.
What the fuck?
Go in the summer. It's cold. But they do midnight golf in like June and shit like that on the longest day of the year. They do. You get like they tee off at midnight and you can play a full round, and it's we didn't even talk about the signal chat. Let me ask you another question. We won't even open that. Let me ask you another question. DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency, and alcohol, tobacco, and firearms about to merge. Good.
Is the ATF a bad? Everything I hear, when I hear the name, I'm like, oh, they must be really cool and like defend all our gun rights. They're the opposite, right?
The anti-cool. Yes.
Abolish the ATF.
Yeah. Abolish the ATF for sure.
They're basically against our Second Amendment rights. They're just
among other things. Yeah. They're just don't need it. Get rid of it. You know. And by the way, I looked it up quick. The Department of Education does have a SWAT team. Oh no, that's Department of Energy. Sorry, Special Response Team, the Composite Adversary Team. You can't believe how many. You can't believe how many federal agencies.
The ATF has 5,281 employees. Did you see this thing? One of the things Elon said. There's the government issues cell phones and computers to people, and they have 1,400 people who work in that department. And they're saying like 30 people could do that job.
Oh yeah, of course. Sevi, the U.S. government is a giant criminal organization.
Just people, I mean, obviously, if only 6% of the workforce actually goes to work, and they're mostly janitors and security guards.
Yeah, I'll tell you this: what's great is what people are finding out. Like, holy shit, with the budget and all that, they're finding out like you could run government on. At the height of the British Empire, when the sun never set on the British Empire, the British Home Office, which ran all their holdings, colonial holdings, all of that, the Home Office, they called it, I think had like 4,000 employees. You know, they were running the world by sail in the age of sail, and they had like 3,500 people, some shit like that. Look it up. I saw that stat and I was just like, but you know what it takes to do that, Sevi? It takes an attitude where they had people, it was considered a civic duty to the country where landowners, people who were very successful, it was thought that, it's funny, Greg and I were just talking about this, but the noblesse oblige idea that like, hey, you had tenant farmers and it was your obligation to hold fairs and do things for them and develop them and don't make sure the church is running well. And then the British Home Office might call you up and be like, hey, we need you to go run India. And you'd be like, oh, rock on, you know, and you'd pack up and take your family and you'd go live and run some, you know, like Delhi, you know, you'd run the British Empire's holdings there and you'd do, you know what I mean? And then you'd be like, oh, okay. And then somebody else would come in after you did that for a few years, you know?
Do you think that, final question, do you think Trump's life is still in danger?
I think he would be, if I were him, I mean, do you think that they just rolled over and were like, okay, you win, we'll go to jail?
Yeah. There's more and more, as shit unfolds, people are going to get more and more desperate.
Yeah. It's already starting. I mean, look at the stuff with Elon. It's already begun. It will get, strap in, kids. It's going to get bumpy. You know, keep your powder dry. You know, and all of that applies. Keep your head on a swivel when you're out and about. It's going to get weird. It's going to get weird.
All right. Well, thank God that the media is out there covering it. All right.
Right.
I'm going to let you go, but if this RFK thing unfolds, okay. One more. Oh, we have an echo now. That's weird. I don't know what happened.
Right.
Do you guys hear the echo?
No, it's a little, just not an echo.
If it comes out, if the video comes out of him jacking off with this girl,
yeah,
probably not a big deal. He gets to keep his job. But what if we find out that they were using it as blackmail? Does he get in trouble, or do the people who put him under blackmail get in trouble, or both?
He might have to resign, which will be the goal of it all. It'll depend on the Puritan sensibilities of the country, you know, or whether we are truly. We'll find out just how based people are, you know, or people are just like, I don't give a shit, you know, and whether they go after the blackmailers. You know? Well,
see, so that's how it would play. If we can get one guy to be like, okay, I was busted for jacking off, on FaceTime with, you know, some girl, and he doesn't lose his job, then that basically frees up the rest of us. Say has footage of me typing into Pornhub fat black women. You know what I mean? So do you know what I mean? It sets the rest of us free.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. That's what I was.
All right. It's like,
exactly where I was going to take that, Sevi.
all of a sudden it's like, hey, he didn't do anything corrupt. He just jerks off.
Right. It'll be Sevi. We're about to find out if RFK Jr. can survive the Louis C.K.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Louis back doing bits. I saw him here in Kansas City. It was great.
Yeah. I mean, his whole thing too was his was similar to RFK's. He didn't he asked the girls, "Hey, do you care if I jack off in front of you?"
Well, so did this chick. I mean,
I know. Well, yeah, her and her husband. It sounds like her and her husband set it up and were filming it.
Yeah. Glorious, good people.
Wild. All right, Dale. Thank you so much. A lot of turf we covered. Appreciate you, buddy. All right. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Hey, we'll see you, Caleb.
All right. That was a lot of turf we covered.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hear about Signal. I know. We didn't even get to that. All right. Kill Taylor's today at 3:30.
Yes. 3:30.
Someone asked who's going to win, Urseg or Moreno in the fight today. I really like both those guys. Two totally different fighters, right? Urseg's like Urseg's like the Elon Musk of the UFC. I think I'm getting fat again. My long johns are like rolling down. You know what I mean? You know when you get kind of get like a pooch and your pants start rolling down.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting a little fat again.
Drew Dober's fighting too.
Drew Dober is?
Yeah. He has this. There was a picture of him.
I feel like any fight could be his last fight. He's been around forever now.
Yeah. He has this insane jaw. I didn't realize it was so. It doesn't even look real.
Yeah. He's like a model.
Yeah. He should pivot. Just be like Paige Van Zant. Do slap fighting. Model on the side. Mm-hmm.
What judges born out of the U.S. Oh, there's one more thing. Since we're on the subject, I wanted to show. Oh, I showed the Sweden thing. Sweden's a fucking mess. Germany's a mess. What is this? Oh, I should have brought this up too. This is why the Signal stuff and the Hegseth stuff doesn't like phase me even a tiny bit.
And a CIA analyst were behind a project that later led to one of Trump's impeachments.
USAID effectively created this organization.
The guy speaking, by the way, is a Democrat who ran for governor of California as a Democrat, and he even knows. Michael Schellenberg.
Called the Organized Crime and Corruption Research Project, Reporting Project, OCCRP, which nobody's heard of, but it teams up with well-known news media companies around the world. We know that it would not exist had it not rerouted a State Department grant from its Narcotics Enforcement Division through USAID, and that USAID can sign off on all of the senior, has to sign off, has a requirement to sign off on all the senior staff and on the work plan. We also know that it did the foundational research that was essential to bringing the impeachment case against Trump in December of 2019. It was what the president.
USAID money used to fucking impeach Trump, funneled from the CIA, dude. It's nonstop. It's non-fucking stop.
USAID is just, it's so fucking useless. There's no reason for that.
This is basically a situation where the CIA person in the White House who had been left over by Obama writes a complaint describing alleged violation of the law. This was then picked up and the House impeached Trump. The Senate, of course, declined to hear it. But I think what's so interesting here is that this is an organization that's behind it, that's funded by USAID, that would not exist without USAID, engaging in what I think you have to consider to be domestic politics, which is absolutely forbidden. Looks like regime change tactics that the CIA and USAID had done abroad being brought back home against Donald Trump.
USAID and a CIA analyst.
It's fucking wild. Pat Lang, I don't have a side. I have common sense. USAID equals CIA. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Pat, who are you rooting for to win? If you don't have a side, who are you rooting for to win? Who gives a fuck what happened on Signal when you have the CIA fucking funneling money through USAID to fucking overthrow our own fucking government?
Yeah, I don't know. The Signal chat is disturbing.
It is.
Yeah, because it's careless. Like, if you never, I don't know, just whenever you have, like, I made it a point, and anytime I make a group chat or anytime I'm part of like anybody I'm working with makes a group chat, we make it very evident that people who are no longer a part of the group are removed. Because what goes on in that group is very specific to the people who are participating.
Do you guys use Signal? Do you use Signal?
Yeah, we use Signal and WhatsApp. Because whatever goes on in that group chat is only pertaining to the people who are actioning upon the items discussed in the group chat.
How often would you check the chat? Would you check before you send every text, go through the list and be like, okay, those are the 8 people?
No, but I know when people are removed, and I remove them as soon as I know when people are no longer part of the group, and you remove them immediately. And when you create the group, you go through and you make sure who is, like, are these people a part of this group? So
okay.
I don't know.
Let me just throw this out there to see if we see the story the same way. They were using Signal. Let's say that regardless of whether they should have been using Signal or not, with that different story, and I'm open to that. But the initials of the person who they thought was in there were the same. So let's say they thought the initials were CB, right? Sure. And there were the right number of people in there. We have 18 people in here, and all the initials look correct. CB, sure. Right? How are they supposed to have caught that? What it sounds like is that they're saying is, and I've had this happen to my phone before, where the phone number doesn't match the name. Like I merge something and something gets out of whack, right?
Right. So the way that my Signal shows up, everybody they have their own name on it. So you can look at this, you can look at the group chat and you see, oh, John Smith. Okay. Brad Jackson. Okay. Like you see their full names.
Right. But and it didn't have, I think it did have the right guy's name there. It just wasn't attached to the right phone number. I think that's what they're claiming. Do you know what I mean? Like this reporter in this guy's phone, the reporter's phone number was attached to this guy's name.
Okay. I will say
I think that's what they're claiming. That's the claim. And that's why the FBI is looking into it. They're like, they want to know, how the fuck did that happen? Did someone do that on purpose to him to fuck him?
Right. The one downside is those 2 applications are really the only thing you can use to
that sucks.
The only secure chats outside of working in a government building on a government network utilizing secret or unclass computers. So, like, unless you're on Microsoft Teams on your work computer at work on a government network, you can't really talk to anybody else. Like, it has to be a phone call or it has to be some sort of text. However, I will say the fact that he is writing anything in a group chat outside of using a classified network like that,
Not good.
not good.
What is it? What would a classified network be? Does the government have anything like? Why do they use Signal? That we don't. They don't have anything else they could have used. There's no secret government texting.
No, not that I know of. I mean, I don't know fucking everything, but as far as I know, most conversations.
How are they supposed to work? So, for instance, you and I work with a group of people, right?
Mhm.
And we get a shitload of work done every day, like crazy amounts, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
But the only reason why we get all that work done is because we communicate at such a fucking high level so much.
Right.
How would these people, if they're in 13 places, if there's 18 of them and they're in 18 different locations around planet Earth, how are they supposed to work together?
Well, they just I imagine there's a specific network that they have that is just for them, but it's probably not sufficient. It's probably not the same as using Signal or WhatsApp because you have to be in because a lot of the time the network just has to be in one spot, I think.
So,
Like you
what you're
can't just
saying
it's
is
not like
even if they thought, hey, it had Caleb's name there, we didn't go back and double check the phone number, which they could have done too. You know what I mean? Like if I had a sheet with your phone number on it, every time I text you, I could be like, okay, is that really Caleb?
right.
Even just so theoretically, they could have done that. That could
Sure.
have been like next level security hygiene. But you're saying, regardless of that, you're saying that what you read that was in there should have never been used on Signal anyway, said on Signal anyway.
Correct.
Pat Lang, Sebi, you're doing mental gymnastics to defend these retards. Just fucking stop and say they're idiots and they fucked up. Listen, you fucking asshole. I already know that they fucked up. I'm just trying to fucking really understand the situation so I don't come across like a fucking retard. Okay. Nonsense. There have been effective classified communication methods for years. Okay. All of a sudden we introduce phones and apps and pretend they're security. Yeah.
Yeah.
But these people have to be able to communicate it- at a super high level nonstop all day. They need a thread like we need. I mean, we're not saving the world's problem. We're trying to figure out what workouts are and which people in our space have transitioned their kids. You know what I mean? We're not doing national security, but we fucking accomplish a lot through our chat.
That's why Hamas was using pagers. Obviously, it's not like you can't get very clear and concise communication out of it, but it was secure and you could it's like it's like the pagers that they used in The Wire. You text a phone number and then you go to a payphone and you use the payphone with whatever numbers are on the pager.
Right.
Like it's secure because it's primitive. It's like using fucking ham radio. You know, like you're not going to be able to. I mean, or some sort of radio device kind of thing. I don't know.
Right. If you got jumped by 14 people
Okay.
in the middle of an intersection in Miami,
Sounds like a gangbang.
would you want and they were kicking you in your head, they were trying to kill you.
Okay.
Would you want a cop to shoot and a cop was standing there? Would you want a cop to shoot a bullet in the air or shoot at one of the people kicking you in the head?
I hope he just shoots them. Yeah.
Yeah, right? This story is fucking nuts. Have you seen this story?
No, I haven't.
This guy in this black car gets out of his car to talk to this police officer, and when he's walking back to his car, these fucking kids in Miami on bicycles jump him and try to beat him to death, and the cop stays in her fucking car.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And that cop is right there. They're jumping on his car, and look at him. They just stomped his fucking head. And that cop never gets out of her car. She's justified, right? To get out of the car and fucking shoot one of those guys?
Yeah, absolutely. You're kidding.
Clock, do we even know that this reporter was even added to the chat? I'd be surprised if Waltz gave Goldberg the thread in an op to take out Hegseth. Listen, maybe they're
What?
investigating it, but they do. The report is this. The report is the information we have is that the reporter's name, the reporter's phone number was attached to the wrong name in the phone. So that's the story, and they're basically trying to figure out. I guess the trail leads to how did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, you're fucking an idiot. This is as disturbing as your defense of Pete Hegseth. First of all, no one's defending anyone, dude. It's like I'm just trying to get the fucking information. There's no defense of anyone. How do you see it as I'm defending anyone? I'm just trying to fucking get the information. The whole story. Jackass. Yeah, this was fascinating. I watched Catherine Marr testify. I don't know if you Catherine Marr's the CEO of NPR and PBS, and that was fucking fascinating. You know what I saw? She used to be the CEO of Wikipedia, which is just completely corrupt, and she's also sits on the board of. Man, she's fucking has her hands everywhere. Catherine Mossberg board. Let me see what board she sits on. Catherine. What? Oh, I put Mossberg. Catherine Marr. Board. Oh, she sits on the board of Signal.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that crazy? Is that fucking crazy?
It's all connected, dude.
The fucking lady who runs fucking public broadcasting and NPR sits on, and she's fucking called Trump a Nazi many times.
Wow, nice. Maybe they need to fix their app.
No, I don't watch Joe Rogan. Did you watch the vaccine lady on Rogan? No, I don't watch Rogan. I do want to see though this story. The owner of the LA Times, who is a complete libtard. Do you know this guy, the Japanese doctor? He was on Tucker Carlson. Complete fucking libtard. Hates fucking Republicans, right? He went on Tucker Carlson, I guess. I haven't heard it yet. And he basically said, and oh shit, the vaccine's gonna kill 1 billion people. Yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah. He says the fucking storm is still waiting to come. I can't get over that that guy in the street getting beat. I mean, I wonder what the legality is if the cop just would have got out of the car and shot the dude, started shooting those dudes.
I don't know. I mean, it's lethal what they're doing. So I imagine you just take lethal action in return.
Adam Blakesley, it's the lady that wrote Dissolving Illusions. Oh, maybe I will watch it. Hey Pat, no one. She was annihilated on social media for the dozens of obvious fake statements she made. Dude, you've made dozens of fake statements here. I can't even believe anything you say. You say I'm trying to defend Pete Hegseth when I'm just laying out the groundwork for what we know. Oh, what's this about? Oh. You like country music, Caleb?
I guess it depends.
Do you like this guy? 10. What do you give it?
I'd probably give it like a 6.
Oh.
It sounds like every other country song.
I don't listen to a lot of country, but it's my new favorite song.
That's the that's it. That you've heard every country song after you've heard that song. It's all every single one. Oh, that's funny.
Stevie would like to get dick down in Dallas just for the lyrics. What does that mean? Dick. What does that mean? Dick down.
You never heard? You've never heard of dick down?
I've heard it, but I don't know what it means to get dick down. Does that mean like someone talks shit to you? Or does that mean you
dig down all the time? We dig down.
What's dick down? Oh, I'm a dick up guy.
No.
Oh.
It means you're boning.
Oh. Sevi would like Dick Down in Dallas just for the. Oh, it's a song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's hear this.
Can you hear that?
Hey, let me hear that part where someone's getting fucked. Let me hear that first part. Where he's in the room. Wow. Wow.
Oh shit. God damn it. Why is it? I need
Let's play it. Who gives a fuck if we get busted? Just play it.
Okay, fine. All right.
Wow, you know this song, Caleb?
Yeah.
How many views does that have?
10 million. Oh god.
Wow.
Yeah. Dig down in Dallas, baby. Oh yeah. Butt fucked in Boston. That's another part of this. Yeah. It's like it goes on like a whole thing. It's great.
Let me see this one. I'm not crying. What's this one? Sevi Play Good Old Man by Drew Green.
Oh,
It's
God.
weird. Jenny cracked a code on what makes me cry.
Just dad stuff.
I play the other day. I started playing this song, and I was about to start, and I was like, oh shit, I think this song is gonna make me cry. And then I looked at the comments, and she said Sevi's about to cry. I'm like, how the fuck did she know?
Good old man, Drew Green.
This song was gonna make me cry.
This time I went out, kicked my coverage, good mama.
He told his mom, hey, I'm gonna sing you my favorite song, and she thought it was gonna be about his girlfriend.
Oh god.
Carolina eyes, Hollywood smiling, no drama. Think she might be the one that I know that you've been praying for my whole life.
Oh, yep, there it is. Tear ducts on. Can't do it.
God damn it, dude.
I can't do
This
it.
is why you can't listen to country music. You're
Oh
fucked.
shit.
You're fucked.
I love that she puts her sunglasses on to hide her tears. Oh, I didn't know she did. I haven't made it through that song.
Through the song.
I haven't fucking made it through that song.
Oh, I hate it. It's another reason I can't listen to country music.
So this one kind of got me all confused. Okay. High school basketball coach fired after angrily yanking player's ponytail on camera. Have you seen this?
No, this is not good.
An upstate New York high school girls basketball coach has been canned after he yanked a player's hair following their team loss on Friday. An appalling moment was caught on camera. This is why empathy is so important, because when I saw this, I'm like, it's no big deal. And then later on in the day, I was thinking, oh, if someone pulled fucking my daughter's hair, I would fucking beat the fuck out of them.
Yeah, they're dead.
I would have just come out of the stands with a baseball bat.
They are fucking dead.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Outstanding career. Congratulations.
Look at him. The coach is like, what's up, bitch?
While the coach Zulo came out of retirement to coach this Falcons team.
Yo.
2 championship appearances in 2 seasons. I think that's pretty good, Tim.
The big question is
that's why you need a black girl on your team, by the way. You know what I mean? Because she'll stand up, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That one chick tried. If you had
That's
a black chick on the team, she's throwing hands immediately.
Racist pieces of shit out there. That's why you need a black girl on your team.
Career. Congratulations as well to Coach Zulo. Came out of retirement to coach this
It
Falcons
kind of would have been cool if she would have fucking hit him. The black girl would have hit him.
team. 2 state championship appearances in 2 seasons. I think that's pretty good, Tim.
the big question.
Years for an outstanding career.
What a piece
Congratulations.
of shit, dude.
Crazy, right? I want to try to read his lips and see what he says to the.
As well to Coach Zulo. Came out of retirement to coach this Falcons team. 2 state championship appearances in 2 seasons. I think that's pretty good, Tim.
Oh, you be quiet. Hey, what's crazy is the commentator saying that this guy's like the best coach ever, and he came out of retirement. Meanwhile, the footage is yanking some chicks.
Yeah. Nah, he's fucked, dude. He's fucked.
He got fired.
Why would you ever fucking like if you're the coach of any sort of kids team, high school or below, even college, I would say college too. Never lay your hands on an athlete. Fucking never.
Should have just sent her to the. If you were pissed at her, just send her to the fucking locker room, right?
Send her to the end of the bench. Make her sit for a while, dude. Like, fucking never lay your hands on an athlete.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
If the phone is the phone working?
I don't know. I don't think the number's even up.
Isn't it always up? Oh shit, the number isn't up. Oh,
somebody made it so that you can call in very specifically.
Oh, must be a regular caller. Hey, what's up?
It's Jeremy.
Hey.
Jeremy.
How do you know it's Jeremy?
Yo, I'm not that dark.
Oh no, not Jeremy. Jethro.
Yo,
hey,
our basketball coaches used to grab us around and toss us around like crazy. For the simple fact that he grabbed her hair and not her jersey, that's what made it bad.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No.
Hey,
my coach used to grab by the neck of the shirt or the jersey and pull me up and off the bench, and it was no big deal. But you can't grab a girl's hair like that. You're crazy.
I had a teacher in the 4th grade who would pick kids up by their jacket, and one time he picked up this kid Sid Getchman up and hung him on one. You know those? We had a whole wall of windows with those giant hooks where you turn them sideways and push out to open the window, and he hung him on one of those hooks by his jacket in front of the whole class.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He used to hit us with a ruler. One time, Mr. Nap Camper, he would say cotton picking. He's like, if you don't be quiet, you cotton picking. He was fucking old school. But one time there was this kid, Richard Nishizawa, this Japanese kid, and while the teacher was talking, Richard had his head in the desk, like looking for something, and he came over and hit the top of the desk and fucking almost KO'd Richard.
Holy fuck, dude.
Richard had 2 sets of teeth in the front, so he could bite into a carrot twice with a bite. Like, you know what I mean? He had 2 up here and then 2 behind it. Going to Richard Nishizawa's house for birthday parties is weird. Like, go to Japanese kid's house for a birthday party and you ate some weird shit, like chicken's feet and stuff. Yeah. All right. So no pulling girls' hair, Jethro. Just grab them by their jersey.
Grab them by the jersey. Just toss them around.
Grab them by
Guys,
the back
girls,
of their jersey and pull it tight so you can see the outline of their titties. Okay.
Equal rights, equal fights.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, what about those Miami cop? That Miami cop, could she have gotten out of the car and shot that dude? He shot into the.
So I was gonna text you on the side. The problem is with that, you have all those people jumping and stomping, right? Is that what the video was?
Yeah, it's 14
you have to
fucking
go,
black dudes beating up a white dude, which is the fucking irony.
Whether you shoot one and kill them,
yeah,
or whether you shoot all of them and kill them,
yeah,
you're still gonna go to court. And you still have to articulate what you saw and why you did it. And you have to convince the jury that you were correct in doing that. And then they will let you go.
And you might aim for the guy who's kicking him in the head, but shoot the wrong guy too, I guess.
Yeah, that happened here in my department. There was a drug deal gone bad. And the fucking guy took the girl, like in the movies, held her next to him, had the gun to her head. The cop was in a standoff with him. The cop decided to try to shoot the guy. He shot the girl and killed her.
I was gonna like this. I was gonna point a gun at Catherine's head, but I'll probably get in trouble. But it was like this. I'll point the exerciser at her. It was like this.
Oh Jesus! Just like that.
Somebody screenshot that.
Move. You got to move the mic. You can't even see it. There you go. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I was gonna use the gun, but you know that would fucking make it to Don Falls clip.
Yeah. Somebody's not gonna like that.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, but you've seen those.
I love you, Catherine. I don't want her to think that I was being offensive.
Oh my god!
Too late for that.
I think I just got some microplastics in my mouth. All right.
How do you think the commentary is gonna be with Catherine and Annie?
I think it's going to be absolutely horrible, but you know what's crazy is I heard them when they did the Road Classic. I didn't think that they were horrible, so I don't know. I'm curious. I mean, the 12 people who watch it, that's going to be the weird part. Like, they won't do
Yeah.
anything smart. Like, how smart would it be? Like, what they should do is Katrin and Annie should go on IG Live right before they go on for 5 or 10 minutes and talk, and then but they won't. There won't be any thought put into any of it. They won't. Excuse me. They won't set themselves up for success at all.
They're just going to show up and talk about what's going on, right? That's it.
Think about how much smarter it would have been if those people would have invested in Kill Taylor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Imagine.
Oh, by the way, today's there's some who's the sponsor for Kill Taylor this week? It's some card deck. Wad
fucking something. Hold on, let me see. It is
Pretty excited about the sponsor. Hey, do you like that country music? What is it?
Wad Bump.
Wad Bump. Do you like that country music song that I played, Jethro?
I can't for the life of me get country music. I try. I would go to the Dude Ranch every year in the summertime, and I just can't get into it.
All right.
But that's a good song, though. That's a decent song.
Okay. Well, on a 1 to 10, what would you give it? Caleb gave it a 6.
6.1.
Oh, good. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Right, we're getting there. All right, dude. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
I'm cleaning up them dirty words that I say these days. Showing up to church a lot more on Sunday. I'm working on bad habit breaking, cutting back on Copenhagen. Little less gas, little more brake in my Chevrolet. Whatever it takes, cause I got a gift from God sitting in the back seat.
Nope.
Yeah, I tuned out.
No songs about dads loving their boys on this show. You out of your fucking mind, Jenny. You're out of your fucking mind.
Jenny's crazy, dude.
Play that shit.
Crazy.
That's crazy how my tear ducts turn on. As soon as I heard, God damn, it's crazy. I need to be checked. I need my tear ducts checked. There was this song, Jenny, that I would listen to in high school. I didn't even listen to country music. I wish I could remember the name of the band. But it was a song. It was called Feed Jake. I think it was called Feed Jake. Feed Jake. He's been a good dog. Holy shit. If I just wanted to cry in my, let me see if, is that a song? Feed Jake. He's been a good dog. Is it Pirates of the Mississippi? Oh yeah, this song. I used to listen to this. This would make me cry.
I'm standing at the crossroads in life, and I don't know where to go.
Only 214,000 views.
You know you got my heart, babe, but my music's got my soul. Let me play it one more time. I'll tell the truth and make it right. Hope they understand me.
One-legged guy. That's a nice touch.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I die before I wake,
Feed Jake. He's been a good dog. My best friend. Right through it all.
If I die before I wake.
Why does it say John Wick on there? Isn't that the assassin?
Yeah, he lost his dog.
Oh shit. That's right.
That's how he came out of retirement.
Wow. Olivia came here for laughs, not tears. All right. So we saw the pulling hair.
I came here for Standy. This whole show is gonna get flagged.
It happens.
I'm gonna
It's
cry.
Sunday. The Lord's Day.
Trim out all those things.
Here, this is when Pat Lang thinks of this is Pat Lang's these are the police officers in Pat Lang's town. This is Pat Lang's when Pat Lang thinks of a police officer, he thinks of this guy.
تعرفنا عن حالك؟ طبعا اسمي
I'm originally from Palestine. He's a cop in Jersey, probably.
مواليد هاي البلد.
I was born in this country, and I work in the police station.
بلباسك او الزي الرسمي.
What caught my attention about your outfit is that you have a Palestinian flag. Can you tell us why you have that flag? And give us feedback.
الزملاء تبعك لما شافوا هالعلم. طبعا احنا بنمثل طبعا اصلنا طبعا اهلي فلسطينيه انا فلسطيني بحب بعشق بلدي كمان.
I love my country, Palestine.
فيك تحكي لنا قديش صار لك مع الشرطه بباترسون وشو اللي خلاك يعني تنضم لشرطه باترسون؟
Oh, it is New Jersey. It's in Patterson, New Jersey. Fucking A.
Wow. That's cool.
Sevi, you got to play some Wheeler Walker. All the country guys have cool names.
I think they're all stage names. They're not even real. Country's
Sevi,
fake.
Let's be real. I'm 1,000,000% more pro cop than you, bro. All right.
Yeah, bro.
All right. Fine, bro. Sevi, Dick Margin. Sevi, low testosterone makes you more sentimental.
Oh.
I am in the waning years.
The waning years. Oh, God.
No fucking way he needs to be fired. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. Not ideal.
What did I see the other day? What did I see the other day? Some guy called the cops, and I wanted to tell you guys the story. What are the stories? What every show someone says, Sevi, did you call the cops? What are the stories that I told? I saw those two cars ramming each other on the freeway as they got onto the freeway, and I called the cops about that. What was the other one? Is there another one? I think that's a legit reason to call the cops.
Yeah, there was one that you called the cops just for some menial reason. I can't remember what it was.
I chased a guy stole a bike in front of me, and I chased him into a park. I called the cops then.
Yeah, that's probably it.
For calling the cops for a bike theft?
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Oh my God!
I don't give a fuck that somebody got their bike stolen.
I was trying to help a Chinese national.
You know how many bikes get stolen every day, dude?
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah,
dude, bikes get stolen from Walmart. Somebody will just go to Walmart and grab another one.
Yeah.
I could walk down the street and find a bike, and it would be mine in 10 seconds.
Yeah. I shouldn't worry about a little old Chinese lady at the public ping pong center getting her bike stolen. Fuck it. I should be putting my shopping cart away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fuck the Chinese lady, dude.
Yeah, fuck her. She didn't even speak English. She didn't.
Yeah, exactly. She wouldn't even be able to thank you.
Hello, police. This is Sevi. There's two cars ramming each other. Do something. Yeah, I as we got on the freeway, and I got their license plate numbers and photos too. The photos.
Wow, you were thorough.
You know that was my fault too. Do you remember the story?
Two cars were ramming each other?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that one.
So basically, I was at a stoplight, and I was in the wrong lane, and I needed to get up into the left lane to turn onto the freeway. So when the light turned like green, I gunned it and got in front of this box truck.
Yeah, of course.
He got fucking pissed at me. So when he went around me and tried to cut in front of me, another car was there, and he fucking hit that car.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then when the light turned green, they started like banging cars against each other, and then they sped away. And I chased them and got their license plate numbers. Yes, we remember, Sevi. We remember the story.
Stop it! I want to hear the story. Let him tell it.
I can't believe you don't think that that's worthy of calling the cops. Okay, here we go. Imagine okay, here we go. These are people who have visiting Germany. Fuck you, Germany. Fuck you, Germany.
So let me get this straight. Germans opened their doors for you. They gave you access to free healthcare. They gave you access to free education. And this is how you repay them? So instead of biting the hand that feeds you, how about you just say thank you and leave?
And get the fuck out.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
I should probably
Germans are so chill. They're like They're so fucking nice. What? That's so insane.
I'm really excited about this RFK thing.
About
Do
him
you
being
feel
gone.
me on the fact that he's former heroin addict? You know that a lot of former drug addicts, like, they replace their drug addictions with sex, and then on top of that, he's on testosterone. Do you feel me on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I get that. I mean,
Like, a lot of drug addicts do that, fulfill their whether they're alcoholics or whatever, they become sex addicts.
I was never a drug addict, but it's fine. I get that though.
And so this dude just has this fucking unsatiable desire to fucking rub his cock raw publicly, but he
That
happens to be
that part, that's where
he just
you gotta
happens to
know,
be
man. You gotta
I know,
know.
I know.
It's like,
Take
dude,
one out of
it's
the chamber before you leave the house.
yeah, or just like, he's not married or anything? He doesn't have a chick?
He is. He is. He's married to like a
Dude, just
famous
fucking
a famous actress. I think she was on Larry David or something.
you just gotta yeah. You just can't keep up or what? I feel like it's harder to keep up with the chicks. It's hard to keep up with my chick, that's for sure.
Yeah, 30 something. Yeah, I was thinking about that about Lauren Khalil. She's about to go. How old is she? 30 yet?
32, 33 or something?
Yeah, she's rolling right into the fucking needs to be have her ankles pinned to her ears for 2 hours a day. You know what I mean? She's rolling right into that age. She like those girls. Like she's gonna have a
about Kat.
5-year window. What?
Think about Kat too.
Kat Shear?
Yeah. She's like, dude, I feel like she's just oozing like pheromones.
I find her attractive. Where's her Instagram account? Cat. How do I find
Isn't
her?
it like Cat Shear CrossFit or something like that? Hey,
CAT.
yeah.
Is she on the prowl?
Yeah. She's gonna start a dating show too.
The thing is Lauren's. Oh yeah, Cat CrossFit. Yeah, I think Cat might have a really good body too.
She's. I think I heard she's on TRT.
Yeah, I think she has a crazy body. Oh shit! Wow, catching. Oh, it's called Catching Feelings.
Oh fuck. Wow.
Next show on the Clydesdale Media YouTube channel. Oh, when is that?
I thought I saw it was going to be on Wednesdays or something, but I haven't seen.
Yeah, look at she got big old eyes. She's gonna have open her soul to the world, dude. People are gonna fucking. There's gonna be dudes all over her.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. she's got energy too.
Oh man,
she'll talk your ear off.
We could be rich, we could be broke, we could be young, we could be old.
More country. Oh yeah, she's gonna. Oh, there's gonna be all sorts of dudes all over that. Jesus criminy.
I can't imagine what is she? She's like 40 something, right?
I don't know how. I have no idea how old she is. She has a kid. Is that yoked? Is this her son?
That's her son. Yeah.
He's fucking jacked.
Yeah.
He needs an internship with
her daughter's pretty fit too.
Yeah, she got good genes in her family. Daughter's cute.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't approve of that Fresca.
You don't like Fresca?
I do, but like there's not even caffeine in it, right? It's just like I probably haven't had a 7-Up since I've been like 7 years old.
Dude, I pound Frescas. I love Fresca. Whenever I go over to JR's house, he just throws me a Fresca.
Oh, really? God, that's some ghetto shit.
We pound Frescas together, dude. It's hilarious.
Clydesdale Media How the fuck does this YouTube account only have 2,000 followers? 1,900 videos. Lunch with Clydesdale, really ready for this weekend. Live shows. Let me see this. Does she have a dating show scheduled? I don't see anything. Sunday night crosstalk with Jamie, Vladimir, pregnancy, a postmodern. Yeah, Scott's on a show with just 3 fucking hot chicks who are super fit. Jamie, Kat, and Carolyn Prevost.
Yeah.
That's his. I don't see banging Cat week 1.
No, I think they were just talking about it. I don't know if it's actually
A
ready
go.
for day 1 yet. I'll watch it though for sure. It's another one of my guilty
The
pleasures.
parking garage, you walk a half a block.
It's good.
Yeah, I'll watch it too.
Yep. Heavy
Just
snatch
always-
ladder, whatever. Yeah.
Which he, but those people aren't even at the, and then come back up and then leave Sunday.
Sucks, but we're gonna get there.
Oh, wait,
Jesus,
wait.
Mike Jones, you gotta chill.
Well, that guy's
Yeah, look
R40
it, look it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thank you, Judy. That's sweet.
He's got
to
a
say.
big old
Yes,
head. You like
know,
big old
it
heads.
sucks, but
Big old
we're gonna get
head. And
there.
look at this arm movement here.
Well,
Hello.
that guy's
Oh
R40
my goodness. All
No,
right.
stop.
All right. All right, Sebby. Chill. Chill.
Oh, you gotta chill.
Get myself all wound up. Scott, you're not looking in the right spot, dude.
Scott spitting. Oh my god. Oh
Right.
damn. You gotta
When
chill.
that if you find out the timing on that, will you
Yeah,
will you
I'll
send me a link?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Wow. This man. Hey, that could be a really good show depending on the. Listen, I'm going to explain to you, Kat, how you do it, and Lauren. This is the thing. Remember when I had that girl on who was doing the dating thing, the OnlyFans girl?
Yeah.
Kaylee, Oh Baby Beast.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You can talk about whatever you want, but every 2 to 3 minutes, you have to circle back to either like going like this and scratching your shoulder or pushing your boobs together or mentioning how you could see the outline of a guy's penis in his pants. But like, you know what I mean? Or talk about how you weren't sure which push-up bra to wear on the event, or you did talk about how you dated a guy who was trying to unsnap your bra from the front when it was a back bra. Like every few minutes, you have to bring it back to just a little bit of something titillating.
I should have asked Lo about the tactical games that she was at. If she met anybody. Forgot to ask about that. I'll ask her on Wednesday.
Yeah, and
She was
here's
around a bunch of dudes and tight guns.
here's another piece of advice for women out there, and I have tons of it. If you want like one-on-one time, you can pay me $500. I'll talk to you on the phone for like 45 minutes and give you advice. But listen, never undo your own bra. It's like opening someone's Christmas present. No one wants you to open their present. Do you agree with that, Caleb?
Nah, no, I'm really bad at it. My wife just wears clothes bra, so I'm really lucky. Like if it's a real bra, I'm fucked. You're just gonna have to do it for me.
Fuck yeah! Just let them fiddle around. What about if it's a striptease?
But it's
I
kinda-
don't know.
it's
I'm not
kinda
into any
funny.
of that striptease lingerie shit.
It's funny
just-
when because it's just kind of like a quirky thing that I can't do, and then she'll just look at me and be like, and then she undoes it herself, and then I'm
Oh.
like, and then it's just kind of like I don't know. I find it kind of funny, but maybe I should work on that.
All right. What if it's a sports bra? Yeah, it's his like leave him alone. Let him unwrap his own shit. Like I want to unwrap my own shit.
Yeah, Stanley, I have no experience.
He's really good though at taking undoing 501 fly button 501s with his teeth.
That's right. I'm really good at missionary.
Yeah, my husband can do it with one hand. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah, dude.
that's a
Well,
that's a rite of passage. I'm a one-handed guy too. I can do front and back with one hand. Yeah,
it's
no
I
problem.
just don't understand why women wear regular bras all the time.
What's a
Like,
regular
the
bra?
point? Like the one that
Oh.
has a snap on it.
Oh.
Just wear
Oh.
sports bra. What
Oh,
do you
okay, I
guys
see what you're saying.
what do you guys gotta be wearing freaking regular old bras for anymore?
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't really see my wife. Oh, actually, that's not true.
For what? You gotta go to a gala? You go to a gala once a year. You don't even have to wear a real bra to work.
I like watching my wife get dressed in the morning.
Yeah, me too.
It's kinda
Especially
fucked up
she
because
puts
then
on her
all I
fire
wanna do
pants
is
and it's,
take
like,
it
really
off.
tight on her butt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, like, when she pulls up her freaking britches she's got,
Yeah,
like,
the
hot
front
pink into 'em.
the front clasp is let me show you the front clasp. I know I've been failing on my knot tying, but the front clasp is a squeeze together and then a push up with the thumb. You know what I mean? It's a you take your index finger and you pull it towards you, fold it in half, and then slide it up, and boing, and they get out.
Oh, okay.
Would you say that was a good explanation, Olivia, for the front? For the front
Maybe I'll
clasp?
have my wife give me a lesson.
There you go. Oh, I do need to do this before we go.
Thank you, Jay. Real bras are a thing of the past. Like, they're so expensive, what's the point? Silly. Too much work. Feel like they probably hurt too.
Yeah, but Jenny has fucking huge fake hammers, and they just stand on their own. Do you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't need a
Do
bra.
they really?
I mean, and when I close my eyes and I see Jenny's boobs, they stand on their own. Just telling you.
Interesting.
Don't you think?
I don't know. I have not observed them that closely.
When we get off the show, I want you to think about it. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go.
There's a loop not commonly used in fishing, which is why it's also known as the angler's loop. To tie this knot, just put a loop in your line with the running end going under the standing part here, and then just loop your working end around again so you have a loop on top of the first loop, and run it underneath again as well. Just pinch that into position.
Yeah.
Open up these two loops a little bit. Grab your working end, lay it in between those two loops, and then just reach up through the bottom loop, grab the top loop, and pull tight. And there you should have.
How the fuck did I not do that?
To tie this knot, just put a loop in your line with the running end going under the standing part here, and then just loop your working end around again so you have a loop on top of the first loop, and run it underneath
Oh, it goes under
again as well.
underneath.
Just pinch that into position.
Okay.
Open up these two loops a little bit. Grab your working end, lay it in between those two loops, and then just reach up through the bottom loop, grab the top loop,
Yes.
and pull tight.
Yes.
And there you should have
The perfection loop. It's my newest knot. Also
Wow.
known as the fishing loop. Such a basic
you
knot.
go fishing with
Shut
that
the
one?
fuck up. What'd you say?
You go fishing a lot?
No. All right. I had to redeem myself. You don't even know what you're talking about, Standy.
I think Standy knows a lot about knots.
You don't know fucking nothing. Standy, the last knot you tied was with your tongue, and it was a fucking cherry stem.
She probably knows how to do that too.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom.
Yes,
Grew
I
up
do. I
sailing.
grew up sailing. Of course you
course
did.
you
You
did.
fucking done it all. You worked at a strip club. You're fucking smart like a biology girl, and you fucking went sailing. I get it.
Yeah, we get it. You're cool,
Yeah,
Standy. God
yeah,
damn.
yeah. And you have a crazy body, and you can say whatever you want. No dude's ever told you to shut the fuck up. I get it.
Yeah,
I know
there
you're
you
tight.
go.
I know
Exactly.
you're tight. All right. I think that's it. That's the show. That was a good show. A little bit of everything. Oh. Oh, did we upload the intro to Kill Taylor?
No, but maybe unless Sousa did.
You may have to fuck with it to make it full screen. He may have sent it kind of weird.
Yeah, he fucking. Yeah, he did.
You may
I'll
have to like reformat it or something.
Yeah, I'll fix it.
Okay, it's $1,000 today, guys.
Yeah.
How come when Kill Taylor's on the show is like 800 people, but now there's only 200? I don't
know.
understand.
I don't either. I don't get it.
Does that mean people like Taylor more than me? Fuck you, I said it
No.
perfectly. No, I don't think you did. I don't
No,
know
you
if
did,
you did.
Pool Boy.
I don't know if you did, Pool Boy.
I think you sent it less than perfectly.
And it's too long. It's too long. I mean, I don't pay you enough to give you feedback, but it's too long. But still good. Still great. I really like it. I want to take away any of your swag.
If it's vertical and I have a fucking it's like
Yeah.
long ways filmed, you fucked it up.
Yeah, you jackass. I mean, great job, Pool Boy. Thank you for your contribution. See, I told you it's too long. Yes.
Let's see. How long is it?
She ain't talking about your dick.
Oh my God. 90 seconds, brother.
She ain't talking about your dick. Knew it. It is good. I do enjoy it. All right. I know it's good because I get so excited when you send them to me, and I can't wait to I wish I could just share them with the world. Ari is walking.
The first one he sent, I will probably watch the first 30 seconds of it. And I was like, all right, I get the point. But then you showed it on the show, and I didn't obviously watch the rest of it because I thought I'd already seen it all. Like I thought it was just going to be the same thing on repeat. But then he had a zinger at the end. I was like, damn it. I guess I got to watch the whole thing next time.
He's really good. You know, it's when we did the contest, the fake contest to see who could announce the open workout. Do you remember that show? Pool Boy submission was so fucking good.
Oh, yeah. He did he was walking around doing an intro of what, like Katie Hogan or something.
He was like better than every other person, and it wasn't cheesy, and it was passionate, and he has a great voice, and it was good.
I didn't believe that it was going to be any good. I will say that.
Neither. Me
Pool
neither.
Boy,
you know what? Pool Boy has a curse. He's cursed because like he has too many. You know when someone has so many good things going on, you're just like, you know what I mean? Good body, good hair, good skin, good voice. And you're just like,
girlfriend.
Yeah, all of it. It's like you kind of just want to just not like him because he's got too many like.
You just want to just, you know what?
Yeah, his car's probably clean. You know what I mean? It's like you're just like, fuck you, dude. He probably has like an air freshener.
I want to find something wrong with him.
It probably smells like vanilla in his car and shit. Yeah. Damn. But man, when he sent he's good. It's like he really is that good.
Oh, nice. There it is. Car's dirty. I knew it.
Yeah, but by dirty, it's probably got like a weight belt in the back seat or something.
It's probably got sand from the beach or something.
The standard, Pat passes judgment based on one statement sounds like a good strategy for valuing individuals. Hey, do you know that avatar that the standard uses, whenever I see it, I think it's like an AI bot trolling. Like I'm always waiting to read like get more followers. Do you get that from that graphic?
No, when I see it, I think it's like it reminds me of a clothing brand.
Oh.
Like I think it was called Train or like Rain or something. That's what I see when I see it.
All right. Fair enough. Anything else? Democrats want you to believe that 2 billionaires decided to get into politics to steal your money when actually 2 billionaires got into politics to stop Democrats from stealing your money. I didn't know that there was another billionaire in DOGE. Did you know that? The founder of Airbnb?
No, I didn't know that.
You
I
seem
also
like a
didn't
cool
know
guy.
that
Did you watch the interview with Brett Baer and the whole DOGE crew? It's like 20 minutes. It's so worth watching if you haven't.
No, I haven't had a chance to.
Anyone who's confused, Pat Lang, you should watch that interview. It's really fucking good. It's like 10 dudes from the DOGE team being interviewed by Brett Baer. It is so good. Next week I'll keep it no longer than a minute. Wouldn't want you guys to get bricked up for the show. Yeah, listen, dude, do whatever you fucking want. Don't listen. Like,
is it on? It's on X.
I don't care if you wear a fucking dress.
Oh, it's on Fox News.
Everything you do is good. There's no. It's like when you're 10, we're just looking for you to be a 9.9. Don't even worry about us.
Yeah. Just being an asshole.
I just like that we've layered something else to the show. If we can consistently do it, it's just cool. We can't increase prize money, but at least we can add some value to the show.
What the fuck? Is your Instagram in Chinese?
Let me see. No.
Mine is.
Oh, that's weird. That's really fucking weird, dude.
I don't
But
like it.
Yeah, why is it doing that?
I don't know. Oh, maybe it's got Google Translate on. No, I don't.
Oh, let me tell you one more thing. If you want to come on this show, you don't say to me, hey, I want to come on your show.
What do you
Like,
say?
that's not, you say,
Bitch, send me a link.
I mean, that's one way, but you gotta like lube me up. You gotta be like, oh, dude, that was so funny, that conversation you and Caleb had yesterday. And then my ego perks up a little bit and my ears perk up and I'm like, oh, that person watches the show. And then then like wait a couple days or a week and then be like, oh, dude, that was awesome. That guest was awesome. I found God when I was 17. That really resonated with me. I'm like, oh.
Wow.
And then you say to me, oh, dude, I fucking climbed Kilimanjaro and I almost died up there. And then I'm like, huh?
Oh, wow.
On Kilimanjaro, you almost died? What? And then I write back to you what happened. And you're like, dude, we went up there and our fucking our docent or whatever it is, our Sherpa fucking fell off the cliff and died. I'm like, dude, no more. Sousa, schedule this person up.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. I want to come on your show. Yeah, that's another way. That's a fucking another way to get on the show just right away.
Just have an avatar like that and then write that message.
Yep, exactly.
That's all it takes.
Yep. But like, hey, I just want to come on your show and connect, or like shut the fuck up.
I'd love to connect. I
dude.
would love to talk about myself to you.
Sebs, can I come on your show? Yeah, whenever you want, dude. You're always welcome. I think you've been on twice, and both times I really enjoyed it. It's cool. I think the group enjoys it too. I don't really like people from the chat on the show. You know what I mean? It takes away the mystery.
Yeah.
Like I already have you figured out in my head, and then you're gonna come on here and it's all gonna unravel. No, thank you. But Pat was perfect. Pat over delivered. Pat's a big buff dude who like wears like the silky silky smooth collared polo shirts are just a little too small because they make his arms look good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That's his avatar.
Yeah. Oh, is that his avatar too? Oh yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, that's why I think that. Yeah. He's bigger on the show than he is in that picture though. He's a lot of man. Like his wife
Yeah.
can't get her leg when they're fucking missionary. His wife cannot get her legs around him.
He's a whole lot of 5'7".
I fixed a video and resent it to you, Sevi. If it were no, wait, what? Oh, I don't know. Fucking send. I don't fucking know. Oh shit, he did send it better. Oh.
Really?
What are you, Mike? What ethnicity are you? Are you Chinese or are you Mexican? What the fuck are you?
Nice. Thanks,
Yeah,
Pool
that's
Boy.
good, right? Yeah, that's the Chinese half of them. Fixing the format.
Love that. Love to see it.
Oh God. I love missionary. You could see the facial expressions. Oh, cool, Rambler.
Yeah,
You're
it's
so
probably not
sweet.
my first pick.
Yeah. Did we talk about the big W videos with athletes being lame? It's for athletes. You wouldn't understand, Jenny, because it's for athletes. For athletes by athletes. Hey, someone in the people in the comments from yesterday's show, from the musing show, are like, you wouldn't understand Mal's. You wouldn't understand. You're an old man and blah blah blah. All this stuff about Mal. It's like, yeah, no shit, dude. That was the fucking premise of the whole thing. Of course, I don't fucking understand, and I've fucking never been graded anything. Oh, I maybe I'm blocked from what's the name of that organization? WFP.
Which one? The Wild on
The Will
Earth? Are you
Morad
talking about
Foundation?
what the fuck?
The Will Morad Foundation?
World Fitness Project?
Oh,
World,
okay.
it's just at
Okay.
World Fitness Project.
I don't see any.
Oh my God, excuse me.
I don't see any athlete videos of athletes being lame.
It's on YouTube.
Oh.
It's all fucking canned. Thank you, Mike.
All the pictures, all the Instagram account's nice. Oh, YouTube.
Right here.
Let me see one where someone's being lame. I like Maddie Sturt. Oh wow! Holy shit! Those graphics. Wow.
I would like show up to these competitions and usually take first
Take us back when you knew you could be good at this fitness thing.
place, and I'm like, ooh.
Like, not every day is going to be fun. Not every
Where do you find inspiration on your darkest days?
day is going to be feel good.
That's the premise of the
You're
piece.
going to have PBs. There's gonna
Yeah, these are the questions that they're being asked. What's the biggest challenge you faced?
I
in the
can't be
past
mean
5
to Maddie
years?
Sturt. I love Maddie Sturt.
I'm not. There's no hate on that. It's just these fucking bullshit questions.
Sevi, I bet you were great at smoking weed, dude. Big fucking glass gram bowl through a fucking like a bubbler. I had one of those bubblers that they like. It was what's it called when you can build something you can add to it?
Legos.
Yeah, kind of like Legos. That's good. That's a good start. Modular. I had a modular bong. So like you could make it so it's just a single bubbler, or you could put another tube on it, make it a double bubbler. And I would always put a gram bowl on it. And then the goal would be like, can you smoke a whole gram through a single bubbler, then a double bubbler, then a triple bubbler, and then you got 5 fucking bubblers, and then you know what I mean? You either have to have someone light the bowl for you because it's so far away, or you have to have like one of those barbecue, things. It's like this with the long stick.
Yeah.
Man, that's the sound of when the bowl's like cleaning out. And then and it pulls through. Did you ever smoke weed?
No.
Oh, it's crazy
about this.
And then finally, the last bit of weed gets sucked down into the water, and it makes this really unique sound. And you're like,
so you're actually burning weed into the water?
And we called the exhalation, if you did a smooth exhalation, yogurt. Yeah, you never seen. Wow,
yogurt.
Wow. Yeah, let me see. Bong hit bubbler. bong hit. I don't even know if you need that. Might be redundant bong hit because a bong is a.
So you just burn the weed into the water.
Yeah,
and then the water that evaporates gets. That's what
no,
you.
you.
That's what you.
Dude, I have no idea if this is true, but
You want to smoke a bong. To start, you'll need to
teach me.
a bong.
theoretically, it's the smoke going through the water that cleans it. I guess. I mean, who the fuck
And
knows?
something to smoke.
Legal
Some
herb?
legal herbs.
Fill the bong with just enough water to cover the bottom of the downstem. Using too much water
I
causes
can't
it
believe there's like this
to inhale.
well curated video just to teach people how to smoke weed.
So look, Caleb, that I had a bong where you could put another tube that looks just like this one and it has a hole in the top and the bottom on top of that one, and it would add another layer of water filtration. So there would be water like I'll pull up a double bubbler. But one more really important thing to know is you need a carb. So either that bong right there has to have a hole in the back that you put your finger on, and then when you're ready to pull the smoke, you take your finger off of it. Or it looks like this one doesn't have a carb and you have to pull that bowl out. You'll see in a second. Hopefully she takes a big bong rip
Has an
here.
ice catcher. Drop a few
Ice
cubes
catcher.
down the chamber for extra smooth.
Some of my friends did that. That was
Now
just
it's time to pack the
stupid.
bowl. Select your smoking set. You can also use scissors or
No, you don't got to do any of that. You don't got to do any of that.
exhale and raise the bong to your mouth. Your lips should go on the inside of the
Now that's the thing. Oh shit, she's gonna look at yes, look at hey dude. I had this buddy. I moved in with a roommate my first year at UCSB, and he put his mouth around the bong like that, and it was like the
huge
first day I knew him.
lips should go on the inside of the chamber, not the outside. Hold the lips
God.
and tilt it down.
Yeah, his name was Gary Cohen.
Okay.
Striking
He
it
used to
upside
just
down is
fucking.
tricky. You can burn yourself. Now, light the corner of the bowl.
You
and
can't
start
burn
to
yourself
inhale.
because you're hitting that thing and it's sucking the flame. There it is. Look
Down
at
the stem and through the water, cooling it as it moves towards your mouth. Let's just pause here for a moment. If this is your
Massive
first time
bong
smoking
rip.
a bong, be careful. Bong hits can get real harsh, real quick if the chamber fills up.
Interesting.
Too much smoke
Okay.
before you inhale.
no, you learn to be able to take the whole fucking thing.
So if you light that up, you just inhale all the smoke that comes out of the water.
Yeah, it doesn't go in, and then see when you pull that stem out, it fires it into your
After a moment,
shit,
exhale and
The smoke goes in.
into your lungs.
that's how you
No.
smoke a bong.
Let me see
So,
if I can.
so it almost gets like pressurized.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you ever smoke a hookah?
I've smoked hookah. Yeah.
Yeah, basically the same. Let me see a bong hit a
Had
double.
some fucking Jordanian dude hook it up for us, and then I just grab a hose.
Oh, here's some. Oh, here, double. Oh, it's double chamber. That's what it is. It's a double chamber bong. Oh yeah, you're gonna fucking love this. This is why, God. Look at a double chamber. So this thing on the left here, that's what you put the weed in, and then it goes through down here, and the smoke pulls through here, but then it goes through another chamber on top that's separate, and it gets filtered twice.
Oh.
And you can just keep doing that. I
So you
need
just
to
keep
go.
adding more filters to it, like more sections to filter it.
Yeah, double chamber bong. And you can just keep like I had a modular bong where you could just keep adding layers to it.
Mm.
These ones are
Is it
weird.
better
where
if
the
you do that?
I don't know. I don't know if it was better or a novelty, but I was obsessed. Look at this fucking the octopus anus. Jeez Louise, dude.
What the hell?
Stoners will make anything. The perk, the matrix, 8-arm matrix perk.
That's so weird. Okay.
Anyway, that's it. Oh shit! What's this?
I was watching. Like, damn,
My wife just
he's
told me
getting
she's
getting in there.
Oh yeah, I don't do anything. Not like that. You've seen 3 workouts so far.
Yeah, but the other ones were testers for an event you're competing in next weekend. I'd assume you'd push hard on them. That one, you were like getting in there. And this is just like some piece, right? This is like a piece you had to do.
A piece.
Practice how you want to play, man. Well, what do you give your best?
You know what your splits were on that?
All right.
Damn, Jason's getting thick as fuck.
That's JR's secret garage.
How many people can be?
Oh, it is?
100 people watch it.
Yeah, it's sick.
Just in general.
Right.
Up here.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's a big dude.
Never been at all, and then you have one more. So you're 4.
I'm surprised Hopper didn't make him put that on Hopper's channel. I wonder if they fought over that.
No way. I wonder if Jason actually got to 100,000 followers.
This dude's crazy. Have you watched Andrew's interaction with this fucking guy?
No, he's close though. With who?
This guy right here. Have you watched this potty mouth hates CrossFit? Have you watched?
Yeah, I did.
What's wrong with that dude? Is he retarded or is he like? What's wrong with him? How come he can't keep up with the conversation? It's not like it's that.
You know they're not actually talking to each other, right?
Who him? Hiller and that guy.
Yeah, they're just like
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just going back on the internet, back and forth on the internet.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's just not. He doesn't. He's like retarded. He
Yeah, it's like
doesn't
talking to
understand
Pat
anything.
about the
I think he
headset thing. It's
Hiller,
like, good.
Yeah, Hiller made a really good point, and he said that he probably somebody told him to read the fucking L1, and so I think Hiller said, which is probably what he did. He read the first 3 pages of the L1 or some shit, and he's like, "Yeah, this is bullshit." He read the L1 until he got to a point where he didn't like something that was said. He read a sentence and it was like, "No, fuck this. This doesn't even make any sense. This is retarded. We're never gonna. This doesn't."
The thing about power.
Yeah. He's like,
Like,
power.
hey,
you don't even know what fucking power is. You
That's
couldn't
what
even give me a
Glassman
definition
brought.
of intensity.
Yeah, that's what Glassman brought to fitness. You fucking idiot. Keep reading,
dude. Your definition of anything is from fucking CrossFit. You just don't even realize it. You're just too fucking thick-headed to even believe it.
This thumbnail that he has of Jason's back is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Holy shit. Can I make that?
Yeah, and his fucking stupid long gorilla arms.
Damn. This if you haven't seen there's a video in here. This video I think it's this one, the next era of the CrossFit Games. I really think Andrew should break off the beginning of this video and make it its own video. The Tyson Bagent part is fucking crazy good.
Oh.
It's the first, you can see where I stopped watching it. The Tyson Bagent
Yeah,
part is
yeah.
so good. It's crazy. I bet you would get
Probably
100,000.
the best part of the video, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I like all the other guys, but man, it's good.
I don't give a fuck about the other guys.
Danny Spiegel's due for a video. What happened?
I don't know. She's not doing anything.
I wonder what's wrong with Hiller. I wonder if he's given up on her. She was replaced by Sporty Beth.
I mean, they were going in tandem for a while.
All right.
Oh. I think I know why.
Him and Danny, are they dating now? No,
No.
Hiller's got a girlfriend.
Yeah. I think he's married, isn't he?
Who?
Hiller.
No. Is he? No.
Dude, I thought in one of the videos he's wearing a ring.
Oh, he might be engaged.
You don't wear a ring as the dude if you're engaged.
You don't?
No, that's only for you buy an engagement ring for the chick.
I'll ask.
And then when you get married, then you wear a ring.
Hiller, are you married?
Yeah, I know he explained it a while ago that he was never going to get. I don't even remember what it was, but I think he recently started wearing a ring. That's why I mentioned it.
Oh shit! Someone just sent me a screenshot of that video. They have it. It says, "Take us back to the moment when you knew you could be good at this fitness thing." They don't say CrossFit thing. They say
Yeah.
fitness thing.
I read that. This fitness thing. What the fuck is a fitness thing?
All right. Oh, promise ring. Maybe it's a promise ring.
Jenny, my man wears a ring and we are not married. Common law at this point, though. Wow. That's crazy. Common law is crazy.
Do you wear a ring?
No.
Yeah, I don't wear a ring either.
I have one. It's really nice.
Was it just a thick gold ring?
No, it's like white gold and like carbon fiber, and then it's like inlaid with diamonds around it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Why don't you wear it?
Because it is very valuable, and I use my hands for like everything, and I just don't want to get it fucked up. And but I don't like Kalo rings because they get stretched out and they come away from my finger when I start using, like when I go to grip onto things.
Yeah.
I just don't like that feeling. So I wear it when I know that I'm not going to be doing anything. Like if I'm like going out to a dinner or like we're something like that. But I don't wear it all the time because I feel like I'm constantly using my hands on things that are going to get caught or cut up the ring itself.
I would fiddle with it nonstop if I had it.
I do. Like I have it on my finger and I pull it off and I put it on. I pull it off and I put it on, and I like rotate it around my finger. Like it's just like a fidget.
Yeah, I would fidget. I'd be constantly doing that.
Yeah, I can't.
Do you wear a cock ring, Caleb?
Not all the time.
A cock ring. Caleb makes sure he takes it off so it doesn't get stuck in the strippers.
Yeah.
I like it. The only time I've ever seen any value to a ring is when a dude opens like a beer bottle with it.
Yeah. And I don't want, like, that's the other thing is like, I don't want to do it with that either. And I have a bottle opener on my wallet. And I'm like, I'll just use that.
And I'm definitely the kind of guy that if I wore a ring, but I was like walking by like a screw that was sticking out in my fence, I would take my ring off and use it to try to put the screw back in or some shit.
Yeah.
I do manly shit like that. Oh, I'm going to go in the yard now. Dude, my yard is killing.
You going to go do dude shit?
I'm going to go do dude shit, yeah. I saw that post Miranda Alcaraz made with her and Julian. She
Where he
made a
just
post on her.
love bumped
Yeah, that poor guy. She basically made a post that basically in the last 6 months it sounded like she was basically suicidal twice and had to go to crazy camp.
Yeah.
And she won't say the reason, but I could only speculate the reason. But in the write-up she says that she had no phone and no computer and no nothing, and for 45 minutes a day she spent alone with Jesus. And I was thinking to myself, if I didn't spend 45 minutes alone every day, I'd fucking go crazy too. I need to spend fucking a lot of time. I need to be alone.
Yeah.
I guess there's people like that who just like they don't spend any time alone. So like 45 minutes is like gnarly.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah, it's like, dude, like if my wife's like, hey, the car needs to be taken in, I'm so fucking excited because it's a 90-minute walk home from the dealership. I'm like, I got it. I go down, they open at 6, I drop the car off and I just fucking walk back as slow as I fucking can.
Right.
Like, no problem. Toyota dealership's like, you want to ride? I'm like, no. No, thank you.
Please no.
Yeah.
I'd prefer it if you didn't, actually.
You're fucking some 22-year-old stoner kid make small talk with me. How about fuck you?
Oh, God.
All right. Well, great show. We know what's going on with the U.S. government. We know about Greenland. We know that if you're a girl and you want a show to be successful on the internet, you should bring your arms together every once in a while, every 2 to 4 minutes. Jason Hopper's back is yoked. Country songs make me cry. Sounds like they make Caleb cry too.
Yeah, facts. Yes.
All right. We'll see you guys at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time for Kill Taylor. $1,000. Special guest JR will be working out today with Taylor. Partner workout. Get your shit together.
Hell
Love
yeah.
you guys. I'm Bo. Bye.